Lindegaard, Arfield and O'Neill for City. Ederson's in goal. Back four left to right of Danilo, Otamendi, Vincent Kompany in for Aymeric Laporte, who drops down to the bench, and Kyle Walker. Midfield is Ilkay Gundogan, Fernandinho and Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva and Raheem Sterling, with Sergio Aguero as a front three. Only 6 subs today for Manchester City. Claudio Bravo is the goalkeeper, also Laporte, Adara Bayoyo, Zinchenko, Yaya Toure and Brahim Diaz. City kick from right to left as we look in this first period. Burnley the other way. They're wearing their home strip, claret shirts, as they always have at Turf Moor, with a blue trim, blue shorts and socks. City in all, I would say grey, shirts, shorts and socks with a sky blue trim. And it's raining moderately heavily at Turf Moor, something Chris Owellamo would have experienced many times.
Many times. I've just got to say though, Burnley got into the City, the defensive third there with a throw-in. Bardsley puts it into Goodmanson, he gets it back. It's a poor setback. That's when you've got to make it count. You're not going to be in the final third too often, so you've got Vokes, you've got Barnes in the box, can you get the ball in there? You know, and it's like opportunities like that. It was so blatant it should be going in the box, but pure set from Goodmanson, and the ball goes back to City.
Early doors, early mistake. They've gone along again from left to right up towards Barnes, who's chested the ball back to this near side. Goodmanson tried to find a release back towards Bardsley. It was blocked off and will be a throw-in to Burnley around the halfway line.
That'll be the game plan, Tom. That'll be the game plan from every time they have a minute to look up. Can they hit Barnes? Can they hit Vokes, who will be playing on the angles and have players supporting? It's so important, but the quality has to be right. It can't be fight balls, and they are both physical and they hold it up very well. Very good link-up players.
Have City made the right decision not playing Laporte today, picking Vincent Kompany? Is this too much of a test?
No, I think they have. I've got to say I've been impressed with Kompany. You know, I think you know what he's all about, but he's looking strong. He's a leader. He commands. He organises, and like obviously long may it continue that he stays fit. You know, he's got a lot of issues with his calves, but you know what, I think it's the right decision.
Strong challenge there by Kyle Walker on the far side. Barnes is looking at our referee today, Martin Atkinson, asking whether a free kick should have been given. It wasn't. It goes all the way back through to Ederson, the goalkeeper, wearing an all-yellow strip today.
And this is what I love. So it's the middle third Burnley are occupying. They're not sitting in. The strikers aren't going right back at the halfway line, allowing Mancity. Look at this now, Tom. Look at where Vokes and Barnes is, with Jack Cork in behind. They're actually making City play out. And then this is what you've got to press, but this is what quality. This is what they've got. City, they can come out, and then you've got to come back and sit in. But I love how they're doing it in the middle of the pitch and not the final third, and just allow it banking up at the edge of the box. That is so important.
Managed to work it very well there, did Manchester City, from Vincent Kompany. He was falling over, got the release to De Bruyne. He found Gundogan. In the end, it was a poor touch around the corner from Gundogan, which was intercepted by Bardsley and knocked back towards the Burnley keeper Pope, who went long up towards Ashley Barnes, who stayed down around the centre circle. City play on right hand side. Kyle Walker round the back, down the channel, cut back, blocked off the knee of Ben Mee, and that goes for a corner on the far side.
Yeah, it's not like Ashley Barnes is staying down. That will be worrying, because like you see, he's one of those players. He's lively in the box. If a chance comes, he is. I'm just looking at this now on the monitor. It's just that it's a nasty forward. I don't see much in it. I think he might have come down on the foot. Does he twist his ankle?
Yeah, there's nothing from Kompany in the challenge. There's no real collision between the two. He must just land a bit awkwardly there, and it's his left leg.
Yeah, I think
that the physio is looking at.
Knee, yeah. But it just shows you Kyle Walker again, always trying to break forward when he gets into that. And it's one of them. He had time to look up and put it across, but there's so many bodies in there. You just got to go with power. Just fire it across, and Mee done very well with Mrs. Defender. You can see it, you know, I'm looking at the monitor now, looking at the Daichi and Moni and Anthony, the staff. They will be worried because he is such an important player, especially today.
And the game plan really is Vokes and Barnes. That's the plan.
That is the plan. That is the plan, Tom. So he looks like he's shook it off. It's one of them. You know, I think he's just a little nick in the knee there. It is a sore one.
Chris Wood continues to be out, as he has been for so much of his debut season for Burnley. And there is no like-for-like replacement on the bench for the Clarets. Corner comes in from City. De Bruyne, Otamendi wins it at the near post. Kompany now at the back post. Header on target. And now Vokes has gone down. That's a collision of heads after that ball had gone away from Vincent Kompany.
Yeah, we spoke about it. I think you look at the players that City have that physicality as well, and Kompany's one of them.
Also, Phil Bardsley down as well here, by the way. So that's 3 injuries in 5 minutes. It's butchery here from City, some would say.
Exactly. But it's just one of them. I think, again, Bardsley, you look at that, I think on the monitor, it's just a little nit. But that's, you know what, the ball's there to be won. Kompany gets the head on it, and it's his shoulder that actually goes into the jaw of Vokes. That's a sore one, but I play the Vokesy, brave as anything. He'll put his head, take a boot in the face if it means defending or putting the ball in the back of the net, and that's what you want from your players.
Yeah, nothing wrong with the Kompany Vokes challenge. Really, 3 injuries that have all come about without any malice in them. I think Phil Bardsley looks the worst of the 3.
He has these little, it's the way that he plays, he trains the exact same. Phil Bardsley, he'll have little niggles all the time, and this is worrying because there wasn't really great contact, so I don't know if it's just jarred it, which is worrying.
Burnley already sent their entire bench bar the goalkeeper out for a warm-up. McLeod, the obvious change should they need to make it. That wouldn't disrupt the Burnley flow too much, you would feel. Just to let you know, there are a full programme of Premier League games today. As soon as we're finished here, we're off to Old Trafford, where Manchester United take on Huddersfield Town. That's our 3 o'clock UK time kick-off. Adam Bridge is back with us. Franny Benali is alongside him, the Southampton legend. A late game today is Arsenal against Everton. Russell Hargreaves, your lead man on that. Also today, Brighton West Ham, Leicester Swansea, and West Brom Southampton. As the ball is fired long by Burnley, it's flicked on, but Lennon couldn't get on the end of it. Fans shouting for a handball against City, not forthcoming. City work it to the halfway line, where Sergio Aguero, under pressure from Ben Mee, will play it back down that touchline to Kyle Walker, and City back in possession on the edge of their own penalty area with Kompany, who finds Otamendi to his left. Otamendi back to Vincent Kompany. Burnley looking to press high, but City edge their way forward. The midfielder Burnley now back on the halfway line. Ball into Aguero, around the corner to De Bruyne, down the line, trying to release Bernardo Silva. It's out of play, but good to see Bernardo Silva finally getting a bit of a run in this first team. Yeah, he's quality, and every time he gets it, he's so direct, and it's like his close control, is that low centre of gravity. He just jinks past players with pace, but they're using it well, as they always do. City, if the link up play is good, they're going down the sides, always got options, and that's something that as soon as a player gets it to his feet, he gets his head up, he's got 3-4 options every time. Whereas if you look at a Burnley player, gets his head up, maybe 1-2 max, and that's the difference. Players are standing still, they know the game, they know where the space is, but they've also got the quality to execute that pass and find the players in the space as well. Bernardo Silva, £43 million during the summer. This just his 8th start in the Premier League. But you know what? Everyone's been firing, haven't they? Everyone's been at it, and it just shows you go in, you please the manager, you stay in, and that's what it is, competition. Walker with an awful clearance there to interrupt, and it's got across to Danilo, then fails to clear it with his right boot in the left back area. He has then got on the ball and cleared it away towards Fernandinho, but for a moment there, the 2 fullbacks really played their team into trouble. Well, that's it. It's down to how Burnley press. Burnley are going to try and get their faces, make sure that they don't get the head up, and if they can force them back, then it allows Burnley to step up a little bit and try and press and defend in the right areas. And if they can nick it there, and they're already in the defensive third of Man City, then next thing go straight towards goal. City coming forward here though with De Bruyne. It's got to be better from Boxy though, isn't it? It's got to be better. That's the one when it comes up. It's got to stick. He's got to make sure that he brings players in rather than give it back to City, because they need breather. They need a breather. They can't just press. They need to have moments where they actually can string a few passes in and actually think, right, this is, get ourselves together, let's get collected again, and we can go again. Good challenge though from Kevin Long, who's continuing in the heart of that defence in the absence of Tarkowski, 27 years of age, brought in from Cork City a good 8 years ago for around £150,000 real value. They're getting out of Long, who's playing in the central defence today. More defending to do here for Burnley outright. Bernardo Silva and Kyle Walker combined. Bernardo Silva running back from an offside position, just onside as he receives it. Running at Charlie Taylor at left back, digs out across, and that is cleared away well by Phil Bardsley. Diving header on the edge of the 6-yard box. He is back and okay. De Bruyne's through ball towards Kyle Walker was poor. He's out of position. Vincent Kompany with a very strong challenge, wins the ball back for City, but it breaks to Burnley, up to Barnes, who's chested back really nicely into the path of Goodmanson, forced back by Danilo and Raheem Sterling. Burnley in possession, and they'll go all the way back via Bardsley to the goalkeeper Nick Pope. Bit of a limp there from Bardsley after he played that ball over the top. Vokes chasing down Otamendi. Otamendi in all sorts of trouble there, let it bounce twice and had to slide in before Vokes could steal it before Ederson would ever have got there.
Yeah, you can't let the ball bounce here at all. Vokes was on to it a flash, and I've got to say, Ashley Barnes, Vokes, he's done everything right. Aaron Lennon, he just never went with them. If he went with them, he's taking the ball and he's driving directly at goal there. He just waited and watched it happen, and that's down to match sharpness as well. If he's with it, he's up to speed. He's going with Barnes and Vokes there, and he's picking up that second ball.
Bristol City really show teams the way against Manchester City. Scored a couple of great goals in Ashton Gate a few days ago. A high ball down the centre, deal with that, Otamendi, and he can't. It's as simple as that. City coming forward now, though, more in their comfort zone, but they've pitched it high towards Aguero, and will be dealt with by Charlie Taylor, continuing to deputise in the absence of Stephen Ward, who's missed the last few weeks. Pope blasts it long, far too long this time though, and you can't waste opportunities like that.
Bang on. Sean Dyche should be absolutely raging, because it's opportunities like that, quality up to Barnes and Vokes. We've touched on it. There's no point in giving it back to them again. Straight kicking through to the keeper. It's not good enough. That's when you go an angle straight up the middle. It's a pure kick from Pope.
There's Ederson, ball at feet, approaching the edge of his own penalty area. Vokes and Barnes chasing down the City back four, but the midfield not being drawn yet.
They're pressing so well, Tom. So well. Look at this now. Straight back to the keeper. That's what you want. Then Cork will go on to Fernandinho in there. Yeah, that's what you want. That's it. Look, goes back to the keeper. Then you go again. They're doing it perfectly. But look at the quality of City. They can still clear out, and you've got to understand that will happen more often than not, but you still have to press the way you do. If you just sit back, then you're defending in the wrong areas of the pitch.
We've got to make them do it. This time City do it well. And they're up down the left wing with Kevin De Bruyne. He'll find Sterling to his left. He's running at Bardsley. In the penalty area now, Raheem Sterling, two ahead of him, tries to fire a crossover, hits Bardsley. Goodmanson's back there and just swipes a left-footed clearance. In fact, it was Goodmanson in the centre. Hendrick for a second, but it was Goodmanson back defending, but a lack of composure, which is unlike Johan Berg Goodmanson.
It's just one of those things, you know, when you're under the closh all the time, you're like, right, we're pressing, then all of a sudden you get the ball back. That's when you need the quality of the player to say, right, okay, I've got time, it's not on my good foot, I can just find Vokes, where's the target, or can I turn them, rather than putting out for a throw-in your own half still, not good enough.
Sterling run the corner to Kevin De Bruyne, he'll find Bernardo Silva, right-hand side, in the penalty area now, really good challenge on him by Charlie Taylor, breaks back to De Bruyne, who gets a shot away. This time it's the knee of Ben Mee that ricochets the ball out for a corner on that far side. I've
got to say, fantastic challenge by Charlie Taylor there, and he's took a knock as well. Tom, that's another clash of knees there. Straight away you can see that he feels that, but this is part and parcel of the game. They're working ever so hard, but what a challenge that was in the box as well.
Going on the attacking right-hand side for Man City, taken short to Gundogan. De Bruyne again, he's running at Charlie Taylor, it's just behind him now to Bernardo Silva, then Danilo, who's got absolutely no left foot, so he comes in with the right, crossed in the area, ricochets towards Vincent Kompany, at the back post, and Vincent Kompany should be scoring. He's missed it, he's stayed down afterwards, so has Nick Pope. The two have collided as the ball has gone. The City captain was inches away from scoring the first goal.
Well, I've got to congratulate Nick Pope there, because it was the only reason that Kompany pulled out. It's as simple as that. He's seen the keeper coming with his eyes and he pulled out. If he makes connection with that, that's a goal properly. That is a goal. So bravery to Nick Pope there, but Kompany, you've got to be braver for me there and take one. I actually think if he makes better contact with the ball, he's actually probably doesn't make contact with Pope. But because he actually pulled out a little bit, it's actually more dangerous for himself there. But that should be a goal there, because Kompany seen that all the way, knew where the keeper was, and just thought he was going to take one.
Yeah, just took his eye off the ball at a vital moment. He's actually slid in and headbutted Nick Pope on the knee in a bizarre sort of collision. Now, another guy out warming up in Lindegaard. That's every substitute Burnley have got have warmed up in the first 15 minutes, because 4 players have gone down injured.
It's part and parcel of the game, as Dyche says. You know, it's a physical game, and like you say, it's quite bizarrely that it's all the Burnley players that are going down with it a minute. Like you say, in that 18-yard box, City have that physicality on the attacking front, but you've got to deal with it. You know, they've got pace, they've got power, and it's game on.
Rain continues to drizzle down here as 15 minutes have gone at Turf Moor. Burnley 0, Mancity 0 on Premier League Live. From the goal kick, they've worked it out really nicely of Burnley. Back to Hendrick in the centre of the field. He finds Ben Mee, whose pass towards Taylor was a bit short, but he has found him. Lennon on the left-hand side, nearly a chance to run at his former teammate Kyle Walker, but then a loose ball in from Taylor, straight to Fernandinho, puts City back in possession inside their own half.
You know what, it was good play. You know, obviously Taylor into Lennon comes back, but then the ball was onto Cork, and it's just that quality. Cork was in space because he's a good player, he finds it, and Cork has that ability that he can, if he does a good ball into him, he can turn and he can execute that pass as well. But it's those little things that has to be bang on, because straight away they're giving it straight back to City, and they'll keep it for 5-10 minutes. That's the way that they play their game.
Well, this time round they've actually backed the ball out of play. 70-yard pass misplaced towards Sterling on this near side.
So can they work it now? Can they work it? Can they get a couple of passes in? Can they try and grow into the match? And that is, once you get a couple of passes in, City have got to respect that as well. When they drop off and they allow you to play, and then they go again when the opportunity is there to press.
They have contained Manchester City very, very well for 17 minutes. Very similar to that Crystal Palace game at Selhurst Park a few weeks ago, which ended in a draw. Throw into Bardsley, in the sense that City have been contained and Burnley have not been afraid to get forward. They're coming forward again now. Slide tackle by Company. Home fans wanted a free kick. He did win the ball. It's out left to Taylor, who's gone over the top. Company being chased down by Barnes. It's volleyed back towards Ederson, who controls it brilliantly on the fly into Otamendi, and City play it away.
He's absolutely fantastic, Ederson, isn't it? Look at the ball that Company played back to him there. Just takes it in his mid-drift, and then he's got two Burnley players coming to just a little slot through it between them. And that's what you want, you know. That's something Guardiola demands from his goalkeeper. But again, you know, pressing well from Burnley, really on them, all the players going. It's like one sets it, it's a catalyst, one goes, everyone goes, and they have to do that. They have to go together. They can't go in 1 and 2s, because City have already showed that when they do go together, they still have the quality to play through them.
And Vokes just caught Company there, right on the end line, right hand side, chased him down. It went for a goal kick to Manchester City, doing exactly what they're meant to be doing it well. And getting Vincent Kompany in a bit of trouble as well on that far side. The oft-injured City captain playing today, in for Aymeric Laporte, who's on the bench. Record signing. Raheem Sterling, who's been virtually anonymous in the opening 18 minutes here, missed control in the centre of the field and potentially gone out for a throw on this near side, which Bardsley will take. Down the line towards Barnes, flicked on, but only to Otamendi. Fernandinho will then fire one up to Aguero. Lovely interplay between Gundogan and Aguero, but it's well read by Kevin Long of Burnley, who's won it back. It's up to Goodmanson, who's crowded out by Danilo and Aguero. Another throw to Burnley on this near side.
Better play though. You know, I think Aguero there, a little bit of cut play, never worked off, but what is Aguero's reaction? He chases all the way to Goodmanson there, and he gives it the throw away, but that's what you want, that reaction. But better play from Burnley. 1, 2, 3, 4 passes there before the challenge was made.
Flick on in the air by Burnley towards Barnes from Vokes. Ederson out of his own area to pick the ball up at feet. What's he going to do now? He's got to just clear it. Being chased down by Goodmanson. Ederson does clear it out into touch on this near side. Yeah,
for me, he done everything right. The keeper, he comes, he sweeps up, he comes out, great first touch. He's thinking, what, have I got anything on? He takes it, and then, you know what? The chance goes then. So what does he do? What, as you say, doesn't make that error, puts out of play. But first and foremost, he looked to see what was on. Nothing was on. Then when he gets pressed, he puts out of play, gets back into position.
Brilliant pressing again though from Burnley.
Exactly.
Who throw long. Vokes flicks on to Barnes. Barnes gets a shot away. I think the offside flag will go up. Now Barnes has taken that shot, but it's worked every single time so far. Flick on from Vokes to Barnes, or vice versa. And I just wonder whether City might need to react to that a little bit. They have gone 3 at the back at times this season. There's another central defender on there. It's early for that sort of change. Maybe Fernandinho drops 10 yards deeper to try and stop those attacks from coming through.
It's hard to defend against. Usually you'll have a player that will just sit in front, but even then the physicality of Barnes and Vokes, if the throw's right, they can't do nothing about that. But then, good players, what they do is that the player that's behind just drops off. They know they allow him to win it, and then they clear the danger. So there's two ways of working it. I wouldn't actually bring another player into it, let them do their job, but just read the situation. If he's continually, consistently winning the ball, drop off, you pick up the second balls in.
Mancity, 20 minutes gone, right hand side with Bernardo Silva running at Taylor, right towards the end line, cuts back, finds Walker, who plays a low cross in towards Gundogan, who's tried to flick it towards goal. He just hasn't got enough on it, and Kevin Long will clear away.
Well, Long never knew a lot about that, you know, very lucky there. I think it's me actually, it goes through me, and I think he's got to do better for me. He's got to make contact, you know, he's swinging a foot there, that can come off and go anywhere. And to be fair, I'm looking at it on the monitor, you know what, I'm thinking, Long knew exactly what he was doing there, and it was just that reaction, split second.
Corner comes in, taken short, Sterling across the face of goal, it's lobbed across from right to left, and this time Mee with a back header away.
Great defended by Mee, you know, all he could do was get some sort of contact on it. Like before, he never made the contact before, but there, he knew exactly where the goal was, he knew exactly where the keeper was, and he knew exactly where the danger was, and he cleared it.
First real period of Manchester City pressure in the game. Kevin De Bruyne with the corner again, taken short, back towards Bernardo Silva, corner of the area, left hand side, square to Danilo! Goal Manchester City! Danilo finds the top corner. He's playing at left back, he's not got a left foot, but the right foot is magic, and it's found the top corner, and Man City take the lead on 22 minutes.
Well, you said before that they've got the quality throughout, the goals can come from anywhere, and it's a wonder strike, isn't it? No matter how well they've been defending, no matter how well they've been pressing, they can't do nothing about this. This is one from, 25 yards, straight into the top left-hand corner. Pope works his feet well, fully outstretched, can't do nothing about that. What I will say, can Barnes affect Danilo there? Can he get in his face and stop it? He's not got close enough for me, and you can't allow a player with that quality to let one go from that distance. What a finish that is, and that's the disappointing thing. But you know what? They're still in the match. They're still in the match. They still have to go about business exactly what they were doing. They have to go again. The press, the composure when they get it, the defending in that final third. They can't let their heads drop now, because this could be, you know what, they have to make sure they do not concede again.
Not for the first time this season, an opposition have got almost everything right against Man City, and they find themselves 1-0 down. Danilo's second Premier League goal this season, fine finish in the top corner. Burnley trying to get forward now, high ball towards Barnes, well won by Vincent Kompany, his selection being more than vindicated ahead of Aymeric Laporte today, with some brilliant physical challenges won from the Man City captain, who he is now with the ball at feet. Midway inside his own half, he'll find Fernandinho, back to the halfway line, he'll find Walker right and Kompany again. It's going to be tough now, Chris, isn't it, for Burnley to keep their heads up, keep fighting, because, as I say, they've done everything right, but are losing. Yeah, but Dyche would have worked in this scenario as well. He says, look, they have got quality, they can score wonder goals. If we go a goal down, we have to make sure that we're disciplined, that we keep organised, we keep those heads up. They'll be talking, there's good characters there, there's good leaders that will always be organising and trying to keep the players at it. So the big thing now is they do not concede again. They concede again, then it's understandable that things start to, the heads will drop, but they have to make sure that they're at it. The quality stays high, the quality up to the top goes, the energy in the team stays, but it's difficult. It's difficult because it's hard, because City will have a lot of the ball, they understand that, but Dyche would have worked in this scenario. A very big few minutes on here for Burnley, themselves a goal behind on Premier League Live. Ball with the goal scorer Danilo. I just find it amazing that someone who's £20+ million paid for Real Madrid can only kick the ball with one foot though. I just find it amazing. He seriously doesn't use the other one ever, at any point. He can kick very well with that foot though, can't he? Right. But it's odd he play at left back for Man City and he never ever use that left foot. Is that not something that Burnley can capitalise on? Teams aren't capitalising on that. Yeah, I understand that. It's one of those things, I think, when you're playing at that left back role and you're defending as well, if you're more comfortable with your right, I think that can be a weakness when you're trying to block and things with your left foot as well. So yeah, it's something, but they have to get into that final third to expose that flaw, I guess. 25 minutes gone, Burnley 0, Manchester City 1. Ball with Jack Court, just inside his own half, away from Bernardo Silva. Goes back to Long, right hand side of the two central defenders for Burnley. Up long, up towards Barnes. Another brilliant win by Vincent Kompany. I mean, as far as Hendrick, who hits forward towards Vokes. Away by Fernandinho. Has just dropped in between Otamendi and Kompany. It's a mistake by Long, allowing Sterling in. He's found Sergio Aguero. Aguero's in the area. Aguero shooting. Brilliant block by me. Back to Aguero again. Away from Long, but not away from Cork, who clears. De Bruyne picks it up left-hand side. Running at Bardsley. He'll turn away from the area and find Danilo. Back to Otamendi, just inside the Burnley half. Good play by Burnley's defence after Long's mistake. Ben Mee wasn't sold by Sergio Aguero, drifting in, then back inside. Really good defending.
It's a great first touch by Kyle Walker, though, isn't it? You know, I think he's getting pressed by Cork there. His first touch just takes him inside, round Cork. He's so quick over those first couple of yards. It's impossible. But like you say, City there, they press down one side. It's not happening, so they just change it, create different angles, and the way they use the ball, it's ridiculous, Tom. Ridiculous.
And the control of the ball as well. The way they keep it under control in every position, from Kompany through to Aguero. You probably put Edison in there as well. Yes. It is impressive to watch. They obviously work on it a lot and are great at it. But for that kind of money, you expect the best, I suppose. Long heads up in the air for Burnley. Struggled the last few minutes as Kevin Long. At the heart of defence, James Dukowski still out injured. Fired up towards Barnes. Knocks it back towards Hendrick. Over the top again towards Vokes, who will win it. Flicks on towards Goodmanson, who gets there before Danilo. Right hand side approaching the area. De Bruyne back helping out Danilo. Goodmanson still got it. Really strong challenge by Danilo. Ricochets back off Goodmanson last, and that's going to be a goal kick to Mancity.
You said it right there, that you look at De Bruyne. As soon as he's seen the danger, what does he do? He's breaking his neck to get back there, help Danilo, and straight away that 2-on-1 with Goodmanson there, and it was a fantastic challenge from Danilo there. But it's they've got to just make sure that they keep doing that, like you say, going up to Barnes and Vokes are doing their job and making it stick. Burnley are picking up second balls, but like you say, they've got to use that. They've got to use that quality, you know. And it's been good so far. They're a goal down to a wonder strike, but they're still very much in this match. Albeit, you can see now that the tired minds are coming because they're not seeing a lot of it. They're working very hard. They've got to be mentally at it all the time. They can't slip at all.
Got to try and get Goodmanson on the ball much more as well. Since December began, only De Bruyne and Eriksen have created more chances in the Premier League than Johan Berg Goodmanson. 37 in total across this Premier League season. There, though, was crowded out by two City players. Burnley now go long from left to right towards Vokes. Danilo will shield that ball and let it go out of play for a goal kick. Approaching half an hour gone. City have the lead, but it's not gone all their own way, that's for sure. Burnley have steadied the ship since Danilo's goal 5 minutes ago. Danilo all the way back to Otamendi, lets the ball run across his body in his own area. Finds Edison square. Right now to Vincent Kompany. Kompany clips it forward. Up towards Aguero, who controls and turns and carries forward through the centre of the field. He looks left to Raheem Sterling. Bit of space to run at Bardsley. Corner of the area now. Jinking in into the area. Gets the shot away. Never really had the required power. Direction was straight at Pope, and Burnley will knock it long quickly up towards Barnes, but it's overhit and out for a throw on the far side.
Yeah, but it's better from Sterling. He's been excellent, hasn't he? He's been excellent from the get-go. You know, he's bringing goals to his game. He's got one thing in his mind: his link-up play with the players, his pace. He's just his awareness. He's just improving as a player, isn't he? But as soon as he gets it there, one thing in mind: can he get that yard? Can he get a shot away, no matter how many bodies are in front? And that's what's brought goals this year as well.
Not the greatest effort that time by Raheem Sterling. 14 goals in the Premier League this season, and just 19 starts before today. A real threat in every game he's played in. Vital goals as well. Thinking Southampton a few weeks ago, that late winner, and a few others in there too.
Something that's always been questioned in his career, isn't it? His goal return. But,
maybe a chance here as he's found by De Bruyne. Edge of the area, Raheem Sterling running towards four Burnley defenders. Releases Gundogan back to Sterling. Brilliant challenge by Bardsley. Slid in and got there just before Raheem Sterling can turn it home, and it goes through to Pope in goal.
Well, there's two opportunities for shots to go there. Raheem Sterling should let one go when he first takes his step. Gundogan should get one go as well. I think he should be looking to pass it across there. And it's like Raheem Sterling City had 2 opportunities to get a shot away, and I've just said to him there, he's got one thing in mind. Why is he trying to play there? He's in the box with his second touch there. Let one go. Doesn't matter if there's bodies in front. How hard is it for a goalkeeper popping goals with all those bodies in front when he just sees the ball split second? And that's the thing, you know. He takes a chance on probably earlier, a couple of minutes earlier, that was probably harder. He's created that yard. Let one go.
City guilty there of the old Arsenal adage, trying to walk the ball into the net.
Exactly.
Good defending though from Bardsley nonetheless. He's up and about again after a collision after that challenge. Burnley have gone long again. They've knocked it out of play. They haven't quite got that long ball right since going a goal behind. But Ederson then plays the ball forward. It works to De Bruyne in the centre of midfield. No foul on him, but there is a foul in the centre of the field by Otamendi on Vokes, who've come short. And Otamendi is getting physical with Sam Vokes and Ashley Barnes, as has Vincent Kompany at times. A double foul there from Otamendi, clips both ankles.
Yeah, he does. It's a bit of a naughty one, you know. Like, look at that in the monitor there. I think he's came through, and it's like, it's a great little roll by Vokesy, and it's he just took him. He just clipped his heel as he spelled him at the other side as well. So never took a yellow there for that or nothing there, did he, Tom? Which that should be a yellow card.
Atkinson letting a lot go today as the ball is clipped high, won well by Fernandinho, only as far as Jack Cork, who goes over the top. And Meeks onside here. Oh, great volley of goal, and it's a save down to his left by Ederson. Great read by Ben Mee, and the volley was well executed too, but Ederson was up to the challenge.
Well, I think it's Ashley Barnes that's in an offside position here, but it's me there. I don't think he needs to take the shot on. I'll be honest, I think he takes it, he controls that with his right foot, put his body in front, and then he's got the time and that space to get the shot away, but he took it well. It was a great save by Ederson as well, but he connected well, but I don't think he needed to take it. Take the touch, get the shot away with your second or third touch.
From the corner, it's cleared away at the near post. That's a real waste from Burnley. Do you think there, Ben Mee thought he might have been offside, so didn't quite put everything into it?
No, I think Ben Mee, he's looking at it. He knows he's onside there. I think Ashley Barnes, if he makes contact, the flag goes up. But Ben Mee is looking right across the line. He can see where he is. He knows that ball's coming to him there, and I just think with the composure in that position, he's already the wrong side of the defender. He can actually just get his body in front, take a good first touch, and the defender can't get round him. If anything, it's a foul penalty kick. He's definitely going to get a shot away. But in saying that, he made good connection with his left foot and pulled a save out of Ederson.
City have won it back on the edge of their own area. They've managed to work it to the edge of Burnley's in the space of about 10 seconds. De Bruyne from left to right finds Bernardo Silva, who dinks a cross in towards the centre of the penalty area. Pope came out, gave Long the call, and gathers the ball in the stomach area. The Burnley goalkeeper. 33 minutes on the clock. Burnley 0, Manchester City 1 on Premier League Live. A reminder to stay with us once we've finished here around 2:30 UK time. That's about 90 minutes from now. Full coverage of Manchester United up against Huddersfield Town today. Francis Benali is alongside Adam Bridge for that one. Also coverage of all the Premier League 3 o'clock kickoffs, which will go through at half-time. Live through our global broadcast digital partners, and goals as they go in during our Premier League Live coverage. All but with Bernardo Silva, 15 yards inside the Burnley half. It's left to Danilo. He'll find Sterling down the left touchline towards Kevin De Bruyne. Good defensive work by Kevin Long, staying with him, getting a challenge in, giving the throw away right by the corner flag on the left-hand side. De Bruyne just taking a few seconds to have a breather off the field before he knocks it to Sterling for the throw. Sterling has then dropped it for Danilo. Martin Atkinson is telling City to get on with it. Danilo looking to do just that, right by the corner flag. Rain still falling here, as it has all game long, less firmly than it was at kick-off. Throw into Gundogan, which he then just whips towards the penalty area, deflected and cleared by Barnes up towards Vokes, and it's ricocheted to Kompany, who's rolled it back to Ederson. Again, difficult for Ederson to deal with. Vokes chasing him down. Ederson, you know he's calm. He's able just to control it, pass it out right to Otamendi, but then Otamendi is chased down. That's good work by Burnley to close down Manchester City.
I think it is. They're pressing very well. I think a little bit suspect on the pass back from Kompany again. You know, it's not 100%. You know, it gives Burnley that chance, but again, great energy from Aaron Lennon when he knows that Vokes is going and pressing, that he's got to go there, and he makes it. They go back to front very quickly, and they've got that pace in that middle of the park that they can go up and support.
Gundogan finds De Bruyne. De Bruyne left to Raheem Sterling. City coming forward again. Sterling in the penalty area, left-hand side. Danilo on the overlap, looks to nutmeg Bardsley. It's just hit Bardsley on the calf, and then he'll clear the ball away up towards the halfway line, where Vincent Kompany will pick it up. They are looking to get forward, Burnley. That is leaving gaps in behind, which City are capitalising on.
I think they've got to, though. I think they have to, because if they do, if they get forward and the quality's good up to Barnes and Vokes, and they can make it stick and they can bring other players in, then it allows the Burnley back four to get up as well. They're doing it in the middle of the third. They're pressing right. Of course, City are going to play with such pace. They can go. They can play counter-attack football very, very well and go back to front very, very quickly. I understand that, but you have to stay in the match. You can't just sit in and defend, because then all of a sudden your strikers get stuck in. There's no outlet for you then, Tom.
10 minutes to half-time. City coming forward, left-hand side. Burnley got all but Vokes back behind the ball. De Bruyne finds Aguero, edge of the area. Good challenge on him by Kevin Long. Finds Cork. Quick release to Goodmanson. City swarming around Goodmanson. So he goes back to Pope, who fires it long. Up towards Barnes, who's challenging Kompany. Kompany's header straight to Cork. Barnes wants it right. Fernandinho forcing Cork back into the centre midfield, where Hendrick goes early to Me down the left channel to Charlie Taylor, who's barely had the chance to get forward in this game. He's up against Bernardo Silva. Taylor has been held up well by Bernardo Silva, but he keeps in possession. Finds Hendrick, who digs one towards the back post, and it's won by Kompany before it could be turned home by Barnes. All he could do there was flick it out for a corner on the right.
Better play from Burnley, straight across the midfield, going out to Charlie Taylor, and comes back to Hendrick. And you know what? What a fantastic ball. I'm not sure, look at the monitor, you're saying Barnes is offside there.
If Barnes had headed it, he would have been offside, because Kompany wins it, no flag.
But I'm loving it. They've got bodies in there. They know the quality of the players that they've got, and it was a great pass.
Corner comes in, that's a better delivery. Me has won it. Oh, he heads it just wide from 6 yards out. Great floated ball towards the back post. They had the overload on. Then Me, I think, should be doing better.
I totally agree with you, Tom. I think if that's on target, Ederson, he's actually, he does that little jump, doesn't he? He does that little jump, and he can't actually correct himself. So he's actually in the air when Ben Mee connects with the ball. If that's on target, that's a goal. It's a free header. He's carrying on. He's holding on to his own player, Me there, and I think he should just hit the target. He doesn't even put pace on the ball, just guide it.
High ball again from Burnley, up towards Barnes. Kompany has won it. And Danilo wins the second header before Goodmanson can get there. What a game Vincent Kompany has had at the heart of that defence for Mancity. Coming forward is Gundogan here through the centre of midfield. Long goes to ground with a sliding tackle, and that's a booking for Kevin Long, stopping Gundogan getting forward there.
Some great challenges going in there from Long, actually, and then it's Aguero that just picks up. Was it not? It's Goodmanson that just picks up the
Gundogan. You know the fella.
Yeah, just picks up the second ball, and it's Long that just takes him out there, and it is a yellow card. Max Axon was up with the pace there and got that one spot on.
Yeah, had to be done though from Kevin Long. Not exactly butchery, but certainly a physical challenge. Free kick has since been cleared by Burnley. Otamendi was then chased down by Vokes, who got a block on that forward ball from Otamendi, but City recover possession in their own half. Ederson in the 6-yard box will find Kompany square. Kompany did not want that. Has found a release outright to Kyle Walker, and they've worked it superbly up to the halfway line. High wire football from City. Gundogan will then find De Bruyne. De Bruyne towards the penalty area. Kevin De Bruyne straight at Pope. It's hit Aguero, and then ricochets back to Nick Pope.
It's fantastic play. I think the first 5 passes of that phase was probably uncontrolled. Well, it looked like it was uncontrolled, but everything just kind of seemed to play off. De Bruyne in that position, what's the keeper every time? You know what? Aguero will be disappointed because he's so lively. His reaction is second to none, really, and he'll be disappointed that he's not just slotted that into because Pope was down and out, you know, and it's a fantastic save. Pope should actually be parrying it away either right or left. He'll be disappointed with that, but they got away with it.
De Bruyne was very disappointed with himself after the effort. Man of his quality, the undoubted player of the year in the Premier League this season. You'd back him to score almost every time in that situation. Final 6 minutes of normal time in this brilliant first half of football at Turf Moor, where City lead by 1-0. And they're giving it away sloppily through Charlie Taylor. It's outright to Gundogan, both in the corner flag right hand side. He's got Bernardo Silva outside and De Bruyne behind him. He finds Kevin De Bruyne. Back to Gundogan again. Leaves it for Kyle Walker. Lennon and Cork forcing them away from the Burnley penalty area before Kyle Walker's turn. There is a foul on him by Cork, but Martin Atkinson says play on because City have the ball and they're happy for it. Right to Bernardo Silva. He will leave it. Just need a short dash on our effects mics, telling his players to get stuck in. Something like that. That's exactly what you'd imagine Sean Dyche would be saying to his team, and they're doing just that. They're stopping City getting forward. That was good work there by Lennon and Cork.
And it's that you're saying there about Sean Dyche. He's telling his players to get in the face too many times now that they're organised, they're sitting in, but they're giving them too much space. The players can get their head up, they've got time to take a couple of touches, choose the pass. That's not what he wants them to do. They're a fit group. He wants them in the face. He wants them to force the decision, and then that's where they'll make the error. And that's where Burnley will get the ball, and in that transition, then their qualities will come out. So I think what Sean Dyche has got to understand as well is they can't maintain that. They have to sit back and allow City to do it sometimes, and then when they're ready to go again, then they do it, and then that's when they come into the match. So I can understand his frustration there, but they have worked very hard, they have pressed very well, they have done it in the right areas of the pitch. At that moment in time, I think it's time to think, you know what, we're not in any danger, we can sit back, allow them to have it, and then we'll go again.
Oh, lovely first touch by Aaron Lennon, away from Kyle Walker down the left-hand side, then leaves Walker on his backside, still going Lennon in the area, tries to get a shot away, but it's blocked well by Gundogan. Great play, vintage play from Aaron Lennon. City will then look to break, and well, De Bruyne couldn't get forward because Jack Cork was basically holding his hand up towards the halfway line, and Jack Cork gets a yellow card, free kick in the centre of the field. Again,
you see little glimpses of what Aaron Lennon's about. Made a fool of Kyle Walker there. He's got the pace, but to be fair, Kyle Walker caught him up very quickly. But great little bit of skill, comes inside, and it's like there's that many City bodies because they react to losing the ball. They defend for each other. They get in position. That he's got nothing on. So and you know what I want from him then is to say, you know what, rather than just kick it into someone, just play it back, keep the ball, create another angle for it to come in. You've got a physicality, you've got presence in there. Put the ball out and float the ball in, and that's the decisions because he's not up to speed yet, Tom. So at the minute, you'll see him in little bursts, and then he'll have that minute when he's got to have his rest and ready to go again. But a little bit of quality from Aaron Lennon there, and that'll just get better and better the more games that he plays.
Yeah, hasn't played a great deal of football for Everton the last 18 months or so with some personal issues, and it is good to see him back out on a Premier League pitch. Just 30 years of age, Aaron Lennon. One of those guys you feel like has been around forever, but plenty of career left in him. He's out on his wing now, but City are in possession. Kyle Walker just inside his own half. Looks cross field, lovely ball. Some 60 yards straight to Raheem Sterling on this left-hand side. Approaching the corner of the area, looks for a 1-2 with De Bruyne. Burnley read it well, but they get in each other's way, trying to clear it. Bardsley in the end with the clearance up to Barnes, away from Fernandinho. De Bruyne looks to tug him back. It's a poke forward to Vokes. Needs a release ball here. Finds Goodmanson back inside the Burnley half. Back in field to Hendrick. Better from Burnley, keeping the ball when the attack fizzles out. Me left to Taylor, just inside their own half, left-hand side. Down the channel, nowhere near Aaron Lennon. Here's the issue with Burnley. They've got a few players out there who maybe wouldn't be in their strongest 11, and sometimes Charlie Taylor hasn't quite been up to the speed that maybe Stephen Ward might have been at. There isn't really a great strength in depth in this Burnley squad, and maybe that's being highlighted a bit here. But they are coming forward now through to Cork. A slip there from Hendrick towards him. Otamendi again didn't deal with it well. Cork looked to get on the end of the ricochet off Otamendi. Ederson read it, dived out, got on the ball.
Well, that's what you want from Cork, breaking in, making that third man run in behind. But what I've got to say, you said about the quality of these players that maybe wouldn't be in the starting 11. They're still good players, but no matter who, if it was the strongest 11 for Burnley, the way that Man City press when they lose the ball, the way that they put pressure, it was Goodmanson. They got the ball out there, and there's 3 players around them straight away because they want it back. The game's easier with the ball at their feet. They understand that, so they work ever so hard without it. So then they can actually go and implement their game on their style in the game. And it's fantastic the way they press. They all go together, and it's like they put the pressure under Burnley there to give it away. That's a must. That's again one of Guardiola's demands.
Kyle Walker with the exact same ball he tried a couple of minutes ago, but this time it's overhit towards Kevin De Bruyne on the near, and that's a throw-in to Burnley just inside their own half as we count down towards the end of this first 45 minutes. Lots more games to come today, which we'll have a quick look at at half-time. 4 programme of games involving lots of teams who may well be relegated this season. We'll have to see how the afternoon progresses here, because there's 11 points, didn't we say earlier? 8 points, isn't it? From bottom up to 10th in the table. Incredible, really.
So tight.
Burnley not in that mix, and of course Man City are not either. Wopes a lovely chest round the corner on the halfway line to Cork, who's gone over the top towards Barnes. It's just over here.
He's offside again anyway, Tom. He's offside again. He's got to be better. He makes a great angled run. He's looking right across the line. He doesn't need to be offside. You know, he's armed his run very well. He's looking right across the line of the defence. It's a yard. It's a yard, and it's just poor. He knows he is. If he makes contact with that pass from Cork there, then the flag goes up.
4 minutes added on at the end of the opening 45 here on Premier League Live. Still 1-0 to Manchester City. Goal kick to the away team, which Edison will take. And this time he clips it towards the centre of the field. Walker heads on into Bernardo Silva. His flick straight to me. Over his head looking for the 2 strikers, but it's fallen short. Fallen to Fernandinho, who controls and finds Sergio Aguero. Back to Gundogan. It's right to Bernardo Silva. Looks for De Bruyne. Mee steps across, but puts it out of play. Ben Mee, only captain, throwing to City on that right-hand side.
Again, just down to the pressure from De Bruyne there. You know, I think Mee then just takes his touch as a defender. Can you just get it up the line? Just clip it up the line, clear your danger rather than putting it out for a throw.
Into Aguero, edge of the area, back to goal. He finds Kyle Walker on the right wing. Right back to Vincent Kompany. Burnley pressing City back. Kompany then fires it forward to Kevin De Bruyne. Under pressure from Long on the right hand side. Release to Kyle Walker, and City happy to keep it. Back to Kompany. Then Otamendi's first time left. The goal scorer Danilo scored an absolute corker from a short corner after 22 minutes. The only goal of the game so far.
Just possession game now, isn't it? They just keep it. They just get it through to half time. If an opportunity presents itself that they can go forward, they will. At the minute, there's no need. Suck Burnley out. They know they've got the quality to play through and go forward. But at the minute, just seeing it out to half time now.
Back to Edison. Will go long. Massive clearance too. Nowhere near any City player. So Mee can let this bounce all the way through to Nick Pope, but he has got a giant kick, Edison. And they have tried to capitalise on that this season with these long balls down the channel when they're able to draw the opposition out. Burnley weren't sucked in that time. From the high clearance from Burnley, Danilo will clear. Otamendi heads, then Sterling looks around the corner. Good challenge on him by Barnsley. Breaks back to Otamendi, who kicks it forward to nowhere. Headed forward by Mee. Fernandinho and Barnes clashing. Headed forward by Cork, trying to find Lennon for Burnley, but Kyle Walker will get there first in the right back area, midway inside his own half. And City will again trying to calm things down and just keep the ball between Kyle Walker and Vincent Kompany. It's whether Burnley want to press. Playground stuff right now for City as we approach half time. Sterling to Kevin De Bruyne. Looking cross-field, great ball, finds Aguero, in space, corner of the area, left-hand side, Sergio Aguero shoots straight at Pope, and Pope will then gather with the second attempt.
Well, you're looking at Aguero there, and he takes it in, he's in a lot of space, great first touch as well, very direct. I think he can slot it, with his right foot. It's on to take the shot on, but he doesn't, takes it onto his left, and it's one of those things. I'm thinking he's going to go low and hard. Pope just stays strong, big, and chest it, saves it with the chest.
Oh, Lennon's giving it away on that far side. Kevin De Bruyne will slip in Gundogan, and it's just caught the heel of Gundogan in the around the penalty spot, and he couldn't control it. Burnley will bring it away. Do they have enough time to get up the field and have a final attack of this half? Into Jack Cork, good control on the chest in the centre circle. We'll find Goodmanson again, right hand side. Cork makes a run ahead of him. Here he is now, Cork. Danilo and Fernandinho around him. Danilo will clear it. And as far as Barnsley, who beat Sterling to it. Hendrick steps across and puts his foot on the ball. It's right to Goodmanson. He's got time to cross. It's high in the air towards Barnes. Won well by Walker. Corky's there on the edge. Just toughed him for him to control it. Couldn't quite get forward. It breaks to Hendrick. 30 yards from goal. Centre of the field. 4 players around in Burnley. Don't have the time to work it out to this far side as the half-time whistle has gone. It's 1-0 to Mancity at the break. Danilo with the goal after 22 minutes. But there's something in this game for Burnley, you feel. It's not done yet. Analysis to follow. You are listening to Premier League Live.
Premier League football is a truly global game, and TalkSport is the global audio partner of the Barclays Premier League.
It's a massive goal!
With live commentary of all 380 matches this season, available at TalkSport.com in English, Spanish or Mandarin every weekend.
What a goal! What a fantastic strike!
The event horizon of world-class football. Visit TalkSport.com to find out more.
If you're outside the UK and Ireland, we've got you covered.
Gets away from another. Comes into the top corner. It is a moment of Merseyside magic from Mo Salah. He's done it again. His 19th of the season.
TalkSport's international service covers every Premier League match live.
Defoe in the penalty area. Dips one. Oh, that is a magnificent goal from Jermaine Defoe. Absolutely stunning from Jermaine Defoe.
Full commentary, pre- and post-match analysis, and goals as they go in from every single Premier League match.
Mancity back to Arnautovic. He's inside the box. There is his first goal for West Ham. Arnautovic took it beautifully. He curled it low past Courtois.
Hear goals as they go in from around the grounds during our featured commentary match.
Rolls it into the feet. Little layup. Arfield can get punched back 5 minutes. 1-0. Arfield opens the scoring in the 45th minute. Burnley strike against the 10th man of Watford.
Every game is covered.
Boy lifts it in left-footed. It's a deep cross. It's headed on by Meunier, and it's 2 for Meunier. Well, like London buses, the goals are now pouring in for Steve Meunier.
Get involved in debates, ask in-game questions to our commentary team, and get goal updates with @TalkSport Live on Twitter.
Here's Gale. Good shot, goal! Dwight Gale's put Newcastle level. Crisp low shot from the edge of the penalty area. Low pass, Schmeichel in a flag.
This is Premier League Live.
Crosses to Olivier Giroud. Equaliser for Arsenal. And as so often, Olivier Giroud off the bench to rescue Arsene Wenger.
Kick-by-kick commentary, expert opinion, international coverage of the world's most exciting football league. Premier League Live, brought to you by TalkSport Live.
The TalkSport £1 million predictor game involves the 2 things in life you love the most.
Football and money.
Exactly predict 10 or more Premier League scores and win £1 million sterling.
The TalkSport £1 million predictor game.
Register now at TalkSport.com/predictor and play for free throughout the season. Win £1 million sterling.
£1 million.
Players must be 18 or over. See TalkSport.com/predictor for full conditions.
Welcome back to Premier League Live, the first game of a bumper day of action from the world's most exciting league. Burnley against Manchester City. It's 1-0 to the league leaders at the break. Folks chasing down Otamendi. Otamendi in all sorts of trouble there. Let it bounce twice and had to slide in before Vokes could steal it before Ederson would ever have got there. In the area, ricochets towards Vincent Kompany at the back post, and Vincent Kompany should be scoring. He's missed it and he's stayed down afterwards. So has Nick Pope. The two have collided as the ball has gone. The City captain was inches away from scoring the first goal. First real period of Manchester City pressure in the game. Kevin De Bruyne with the corner again, taken short back towards Bernardo Silva. Corner of the area, left-hand side, square to Danilo! Goal Manchester City! Danilo finds the top corner. He's playing a left back, he's not got a left foot, but the right foot is magic, and it's found the top corner, and Man City take the lead on 22 minutes. Was clipped high, won well by Fernandinho, only as far as Jack Cork, who goes over the top. Ben Mees onside here! Oh, great volley of goal, and it's a save down low to his left by Ederson. Great read by Ben Mee. The volley was well executed too, but Ederson was up to the challenge. Comes in, that's a better delivery. Mee has won it. Oh, he heads it just wide from 6 yards out. Great floated ball towards the back post. They had the overload on. Ben Mee, I think, should be doing better towards the penalty area. Kevin De Bruyne straight at Pope. It's in Aguero, and then ricochets back to Nick Pope.
It's fantastic play. I think the first 5 passes of that phase was probably uncontrolled. Well, it looked like it was uncontrolled, but everything just kind of seemed to play off.
And that's how things are at half-time at a very drizzly Turf Moor. It is 1-0 to Manchester City. Former Burnley striker Chris Wellamo has watched the game alongside me, and I think you'd love playing a game like this, wouldn't you? With Burnley knocking it high, Vokes and Barnes. It's 1-0 to City, and they've had their chances, but Burnley are in this game. They've got everything right tactically today.
I've got to agree with you. I think very much so. I think they've been organised. They've worked hard for each other. They've defended well. They've used the ball well as well. And when they do get it back, there's been a couple of occasions which is understandable because they're working so hard that there is some tired minds out there. But they've got good characters. I think Sean Dyche will be very happy with them, and he'll instill that into them at half time. He'll say, look, you've went out, you've conceded a wonder goal. That's why but you're still in the match. So very much the same. I think we'll see them going even more direct this time because they are getting success from it. They are picking up second balls. Vokes and Barnes are doing their job very well. You've touched on it a couple of times in that first half. When they get into the wide areas, there's not enough crosses coming in. Even at the dying seconds of that first half, they had the opportunity to put a couple of balls in, and it doesn't. One cross coming in, even though they're finding themselves in that area a couple of times, isn't enough. When they've got the physicality of that Vokes and Barnes, they have to use that. So I feel that it will be very much target man football, hit it up there, pick up second balls, weather the storm, and very much that's it. If it gets a point, if they can get a goal and they pick up a point, what a fantastic point that is, and it stops the ruck for them. So I think Sean Dyche will be very happy with them. He'll still that in confidence into them. They've got to go again. It's a big 45 minutes, a lot of work ethic, a lot of heart and soul put into it, but the quality's there. They have got that in the team. They have got the quality players that can find a goal today.
And what about Man City? Quality players as well, but maybe Kevin De Bruyne has not been his absolute best. He's been a bit frustrated with some of the efforts he could have had. Bernardo Silva, we've seen enough of him. A City at their absolute peak today.
Yeah, probably not, but they're 1-0 up. From a window strike, they have got into positions where they've tested Pope in goals. Probably not done as well as what they should have. De Bruyne there, where he's went straight down the middle of the goal rather than finding corners with the quality that he's got. Aguero, the rebound off of De Bruyne's shot, and then he's one-on-one straight at Raheem Sterling. A couple of weak efforts. So they have had opportunities. They have had chances there. Too many times trying to play the ball into the net, which is like when you see so much of it and they have the movement and the quality they've got, sometimes they try and overplay, and it's but I think Guardiola will be quite happy with what he's got. They're the 1-0 up. I think he understands what the Premier League's all about. You don't get everything your own way. He knows that Burnley, no matter where they are in the table, the quality that they've got in their team, they are going to be a challenge. There isn't an easy game, no matter who you are in the Premier League, but they have to be more clinical, and that's only probably the question that he can put to the players in the dressing room.
Elsewhere today in the Premier League, when we're finished here, Bournemouth are up against Stoke City, West Ham go to Brighton Hove Albion, it's Leicester against Swansea. No Riyad Mahrez for Leicester, who would have liked to have been playing for City here today. West Brom against Southampton, also at 3 o'clock UK time, but our feature game sees Manchester United take on Huddersfield Town. Let's hear from the bosses of those two clubs, Jose Mourinho of the Red Devils and David Wagner of the Terriers.
They are doing so well that they are not letting the others come close to them. Is as simple as that, because with the number of points we have, with the improvement we had in relation to last season, in normal conditions, the distance would be a distance that leave the fight open, and in this moment the fight is open for the third, the second, the fourth, the fifth and the sixth, but it's practically closed for the first. So I cannot say that we are doing bad, or Tottenham is doing bad, or Chelsea is doing bad, because the number of points we have are a very reasonable number of points.
I think it's more important that they have belief rather than that they dream. I think we don't have to speak about who is the favorite, who isn't the favorite tomorrow. And at the end, for us, we have to be, and we will be, and we are so excited about this event which we have tomorrow. Old Trafford, Manchester United against Huddersfield Town in the Premier League. This stays for itself, and after the experience we had in the first game here at home with our great support, we are even more excited.
It's not because of this Munich disaster that the game becomes important for us. The game is important for us because we need points to be the first of the last.
Yeah, 60 years since the Munich air disaster this year, and there will be some tributes before the game at Old Trafford, where Manchester United take on Huddersfield Town. That's our feature game across the 3 o'clock UK time kickoffs. The late game today is Arsenal against Everton. The early, we are midway through. It's Burnley against Manchester City. City lead at half-time by a goal to nil. Danilo with a great strike on 22 minutes. The second half comes in a few moments' time. You are listening to Premier League Live.
Premier League football is a truly global game, and TalkSport is the global audio partner of the Barclays Premier League.
It's a massive goal!
With live commentary of all 380 matches this season, available at TalkSport.com in English, Spanish or Mandarin every weekend.
What a goal! What a fantastic strike!
The event horizon of world-class football. Visit TalkSport.com to find out more.
If you're outside the UK and Ireland, we've got you covered.
Salah into the penalty area. Mo Salah gets it through. Firmino! 3-0. Counter-attacking football at its best. Roberto Firmino.
TalkSport's international service covers every Premier League match live.
Here's Aguero trying to find a way through. Sergio Aguero, he does so well. Brilliant goal. Marvellous goal by Sergio Aguero.
Full commentary, pre- and post-match analysis, and goals as they go in from every single Premier League match.
Ball comes in towards Willian, breaks back to Pedro. It's 3-0 to Chelsea, but it's all too easy.
Hear goals as they go in from around the grounds during our featured commentary match.
Calvert-Lewin gets it back from Rooney as well. Again, better from Everton. Crosses the middle. It's Lennon with the header this time. The keeper spills it, and Wayne Rooney turns it home.
Every game is covered.
Mesut Ozil wants it back. This would be a lovely goal. Mesut Ozil into Olivier Giroud. Arsenal have doubled their advantage. It's a simply superb goal from Arsenal. A beautiful collective move.
Get involved in debates. Ask in-game questions to our commentary team and get goal updates with @TalkSport Live on Twitter.
Here's the corner, swung in well on, header's in, it's a goal! West Ham have equalised, and Cheku Kouyaté is celebrating. The equaliser for West Ham from the corner in the final minute of the first half.
This is Premier League Live.
Headed away that time by Stevens, and that's deflected and in! Ashley Young with a shot, it's off of Lewis Dunk, and it curls into the top corner. Ashley Young will take the credit for it, but it's a wicked deflection off of Lewis Dunk.
Kick-by-kick commentary, expert opinion, international coverage of the world's most exciting football league. Premier League Live, brought to you by TalkSport Live.
Go to TalkSport.com and sign up now to play the free TalkSport Predictor game. Predict the results of the English Premier League games this season for the chance to win top-flight weekly prizes. From the Gunners getting away goals at Anfield to epic finishes at the Etihad. Click TalkSport.com/predictor and register now for the chance to go top of the table in the ultimate football fan tournament. The TalkSport English Premier League Predictor game. Available online and for free at TalkSport.com/predictor.
You are listening to Premier League Live and our coverage of Burnley 0, Manchester City 1 from Turf Moor. I'm your host Tom Rennie, alongside me the former Burnley striker, also once of Scotland and Wolverhampton Wanderers and Stoke City as well, Chris Uwelamo. You are listening to Premier League Live. Just the one goal in the game so far, Danilo on 22 minutes with a brilliant strike with his right boot. That's what separates the two teams at the break. We're still waiting for Man City actually to emerge for this second half. Burnley have been out for a couple of minutes or so. I'll run through the Burnley 11 for you. Nick Pope's in goal. Back four left to right of Charlie Taylor, Ben Mee the captain, Kevin Long and Phil Bardsley. Long on a yellow card from the first half, and in fact there might be a change coming up for Burnley. Matt Loughton's about to come on, and I'd imagine it will be Phil Bardsley who'll be going off after a difficult first half for him, struggling with injury. I will confirm that for you in a few moments' time. Board just going up, down below us as to who has gone off for Burnley. Used to be a nice simple card put up, but now it's really difficult because it's all technology, it's all difficult. John Moss has finally made that board work. Phil Bardsley has gone off and Matt Loughton has come on. Straight swap at right back. In the centre of midfield, Jeff Hendrick and Jack Cork. Cork is on a yellow card along with Long. Goodmanson and Lennon on the wings with Ashley Barnes and Sam Boakes up front. Loughton is on. There are still 6 subs on the bench for Burnley, and Kudu, Westwood, Wells, Lindegaard, Arfield and O'Neill. Mancity are now emerging from the tunnel, led by Pep Guardiola in his giant pashmina. I'm not going to say scarf, it's far too big. That's a pashmina. It's the kind of thing your wife wears when you go on holiday and it's a bit chilly at night, and I like it.
I like it. I think he pulls it off, doesn't he?
He pulls it off. That's the important thing. He's a stylish man. So is Chris Owellamo. They know. I'm wearing a hoodie. Looking at me like a Burnley fan, actually, in Claret. Anyway, for City, it's Ederson in goal. Back four left to right of Danilo, Otamendi, Vincent Kompany and Kyle Walker. Midfield, Kevin De Bruyne, Fernandinho and Ilkay Gundogan, with Raheem Sterling and Bernardo Silva supporting Sergio Aguero. Bench, just 6 players named for Manchester City. Bravo, Laporte, Adara Bayoyo, Zinchenko, Yaya Toure and Brahim Diaz. We are back underway with Burnley kicking from right to left. Burnley kicking from right to left. His second period, shorts and socks. City kick from left to right. It's an all grey away strip for them with white numbering and trim and sky blue lines down the sleeves. Throw into Burnley down the right hand side by the corner flag. Goodmanson controls on the thigh. Danilo nicks in. And that's a throw on the right hand side.
See, my issue with Goodmanson is that he likes to take too many touches. You know, I think he's got in behind Danilo there. Put the ball in. As soon as you get that yard, put the ball in.
Loughton's cross is just put straight in there, and it's come off the back of Kompany's head. It's away from Ederson and cleared away only as far down the left hand side as Charlie Taylor. He'll find Lennon. Vincent Kompany getting it all wrong there.
If you put the ball in the box, City are vulnerable. It's as simple as that. So every opportunity you get, no matter how it is, you're putting, the bodies have got to be in there. If the balls are coming in consistently, the bodies will make it. They'll break the neck to get in there for him.
And Kompany was surely holding Ashley Barnes here, and he was. And that's going to be a free kick to Burnley just inside the City half on the left-hand side. And we're seeing a replay now of that cross from Matt Loughton. And Vincent Kompany very nearly assisted Ashley Barnes.
He's done everything that he can do there, Tom. You know, if anything, he's probably read it wrong, that he should go with his foot and clear it forward, because he's decided the early doors, because the ball that came in, he's actually, the way that it's been put in from Loughton, it's tipped very quickly, and he's just judged it wrong.
In the area again here, Burnley. Right hand side, Vokes one at the back post, he flicked it in towards the runner, Ben Mee. It's cleared away, but the referee's actually given a decision in City's favour, which Ben Mee is frustrated about.
Yeah, he thought it was a free kick against him there, but it's a throw-in, which I think Martin Atkinson got it right again.
Ball back with Ederson in his own 6-yard box. Kompany to his right. Forward to Bernardo Silva, steps on the ball, nearly plays himself into trouble. Taylor is with him, back to Kompany, over the top and won by Mee, but he's headed it straight to Gundogan. Aguero couldn't have done it better if he wanted to find a City player. Out left to Raheem Sterling, finds Sergio Aguero. Aguero's in the area, Raheem Sterling, Aguero's shot. It's hit a Burnley leg in there somewhere, and it's come out for a corner on this near side.
You know what, it all came from me. He can actually head it into Henrik there. He doesn't do that. I think Loughton actually just puts his body in front, he turns his back, and you know what, it's great defending. It is great defending. He actually keeps his eye on the ball, turns all the time, and it's one of the things, as a defender, you get told never to take your eye off the ball. It was so hard for him to actually move the way that he did, but if they never done that, Aguero can then take another touch, move the ball again, and then just actually find the spot and place it.
Loughton's been heavily involved since coming on 3 minutes ago. City worked the corner short and back to De Bruyne on the right hand side. He fires one in lovely to Gundogan, who turns and shoots. That's another block from Matt Loughton over the top.
Every decision every decision they make is the right one in that final third, you know. Just the skill to cut back there and then get the shot away, the way to pass from De Bruyne, you know, how they work it. If that's me, I'm thinking just put the cross in, they don't think like that, because they know there's willing runners that are looking, but they can just keep it on the floor, work that angle and pick players out.
Another 1-2 from the corner. Gundogan and De Bruyne combining, cross block from Gundogan. Only as far as Kevin De Bruyne leaves it to Bernardo Silva, then Danilo with a right-footed cross towards Sergio Aguero, back post, volley across goal. Mia's got there, and he will clear it for another corner. A dominant start to this second half for the league leaders Manchester City.
Yeah, well, nothing that Burnley haven't expected. I'm looking at the monitor now, and there's like 4 players offside from City, so I'm not sure it's is it a goal kick being given? Not a corner, isn't it? It's a corner, isn't it?
Offside flag. It's not gone up.
It's not gone up. Well, look at the monitor there, and there's about 4 players offside.
Corner taken short again and again. Gundogan and De Bruyne combine again. Gundogan runs in the area. He beat 2. Couldn't beat the third player. They've done it every single corner so far, but how do you stop it?
Well, I'll tell you what, Gundogan, he's definitely breathing. He's definitely been in the thick of it at the minute. Him and De Bruyne are linking up very well, but it's just quality again.
De Bruyne low towards the edge of the area. Danilo's shot, and that's over the top. Very creative from every corner, Man City. This time Danilo's effort is not on target, and that will end that period of pressure.
I think the thing there, he would come on and put the laces through that there, but again, very aware that there's a challenge coming as well if he does that, and it's just one of them, you know. I think it's a little bit of caution, and it's a dangerous way to play, whereas that's why he's connected the way that he has done.
Great little period there for Man City. 5 minutes gone at the start of the second half, still leading by a goal to nil thanks to Danilo's strike in the first half. This is Premier League Live. From the goal kick, Burnley do what they've done all game long, look for Vokes, look for Barnes, won by Otamendi, outright. Sterling loses out to Matt Loughton, who's really been in the thick of it since coming on. He will take this throw, 28-year-old former Aston Villa man. Down towards Barnes, Barnes looks to flick on, Sterling will then shield the ball to knock it out of play, and it's going to be a goal kick to Manchester City.
One of them, they have to make sure they keep up the standards in the first half. At the minute, look, you can see how they're not pressing the same way. They're defending deeper again, so the 2 strikers, Ashley Barnes and Sam Vokes, are on their own, a little bit isolated. They have to be compact. The distances between the lines are so important.
Kevin De Bruyne, right of centre, hopes it to Kyle Walker, just about level with the penalty area on the right wing. Back to Kevin De Bruyne, he'll find Vincent Kompany on the halfway. Cork chasing him down, right to De Bruyne, back to Vincent Kompany, trying to draw Burnley onto them, create the space for Bernardo Silva to pick it up and do this. Crossfield ball, 30-40 yards, finding Raheem Sterling, controls well, a couple of step overs, turning away from Goodmanson and Loughton, lovely cross to Aguero, away from the head of me. Gundogan's chest control, intercepted by Barnes, but only as far as Danilo, who just won't use his left. I just can't believe it drives me mad.
It's how he just had a little shuffle round the ball, didn't he? Just
won't use it. It's £30 million worth, he's only got 1 foot. It's amazing.
Maybe it's a little wager. Maybe let's go a year.
Some player get a goal bonus and he gets money taken off if he uses his left boot, maybe. He's out on that far side now. Here he is. A control with the left, but a pass with the right.
There we go.
It's £1,000 he's lost there. Not right to Kevin De Bruyne. And it's back to Ederson. Still plenty of this game to go. Plenty in it for Burnley, who have just won 1 of the last 18 meetings with Man City. They had a famous win here in March 2015. George Boyd scoring the only goal of that game. 12 defeats and 5 draws the rest of that run. It's also their worst run of home form for 8 years. Burnley losing their last 3 to Spurs, Liverpool and Manchester United. Very tough fixtures and a tough few minutes on here as Gundogan is found on the edge from Aguero. His shot is blocked, but the shot was on before he actually took it.
Yeah, I've got to say, wrong decision there from Gundogan. I think it's one of the things, Sterling's on to actually just wait a pass for him to come and just onto the right foot and take the shot on. But you were right, touch shot, when he's moved it onto his right, he's killed Sterling. It's just wrong decision in the final third, which was surprising because they've been excellent.
Corner taken short, De Bruyne and Gundogan. De Bruyne's whip ball in, bounced up awkwardly off the slippery turf, more turf, into the chest of the goalkeeper Nick Pope, and he's dealt with it really well. Well held. Fired up towards Barnes. Good control and a lovely ball out to this left-hand side where Lennon will run at Walker. Chops back in field, overlapping run being made by Taylor. Goes back to Jack Cork. 1-2 with Jeff Hendrick. Cork again. Gundogan forcing Cork back towards the halfway line. De Bruyne now chasing down Ben Mee. Has to clip it down the line. Lennon controls, but it's a strong challenge by Kyle Walker to win it back fairly for City. Lovely play by Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne. Bernardo Silva now on this right hand side, running at Mee, slipping in Sergio Aguero to Raheem Sterling, and Raheem Sterling's shot is over the top. It's just behind him, which made it really difficult, but I thought Aguero was about to fire that one home.
Why hasn't he fired it home to him? That's the thing. It's a great build-up play, great way to pass here for Bernardo Silva. Great touch, shot away. The ball's behind Sterling there. He can't really do much about it. He still makes okay, reasonable contact and just tries to guide it. But Aguero should be just putting it in the back of the net there, just finding bottom corners, and you can see the frustration of Guardiola there. It's just get the shot away. Worked ever so well to get into that final third, and that shooting opportunity came up, and he never took it on Aguero.
There's been a ruthless streak about City this season. Here we're seeing the worst of Arsenal from 2005.
I agree.
Why are they doing it today?
It's one of the things. They've had opportunity after opportunity. They've not been clinical enough. Is one of the things that Guardiola put to them at half time, saying, look, you've created chances, you've got yourself into the final third in great positions, put it at the back of the net, take the shot on. He's not done it. That is one of the best strikers in the Premier League by a country mile. His goal scoring record speaks for itself. Why is he thinking about cutting it back to Sterling there? I don't understand it. Great first touch, great movement, get the shot away.
Kevin De Bruyne there with a run from midway inside his own half, almost all the way to the edge of the Burnley penalty area, then just overrun it as he looked to try and get a shot away, and it will be brought away by Burnley up towards the halfway, but they've now lost possession to Man City, and it's with Otamendi just inside his own half. It's right to Vincent Kompany, into Gundogan, round the corner to Fernandinho. Scored the opener against West Bromwich Albion midweek. He's found Gundogan. Gundogan then looks to slip in Sterling, and again the final ball just hasn't quite been there for Gundogan. This time Burnley get a block and it goes for a corner.
I think there's something there. I don't think he likes him very much, Gundogan. I think just Sterling there, it's an easier just to put it with the inside of your foot, and he tries a little slack outside of the right boot, where Sterling does everything right, keeps his distance, just waiting for the weight of the ball to be right for him, just come on and get that shot, find Pope's bottom corner. Sloppy play from Gundogan.
Oh, it's back to Danilo. It's a carbon copy of the goal, and this time it's saved by Nick Pope. It's Gundogan and De Bruyne again from the corner. Back to Danilo. It's Barnes coming out. It couldn't have been more identical, but for the fact this time Pope has saved it and the net hasn't rustled.
And what I will say as well, that it was Sam Vokes that was putting great pressure on Danilo as well. But again, great save from Pope. I think worked his feet very well. He was outstretched. The quality finish for the first, the only goal so far was excellent, and it was a carbon copy, but he dealt with it well. Pope.
Again, De Bruyne and Gundogan combine from the corner. Short reverse ball to Kevin De Bruyne, across towards Kompany. Good defending in there from Burnley. It's Vokes back defending, getting his body in the way.
Well, he's doing his job, isn't he, Sam Vokes? He's there. He's marshalling Kompany all the way. And like you say, the big man can defend as well.
Manchester City getting a real workout here from Burnley. They lead by a goal to nil. The Clarets not giving City an inch. Jeff Hendrick there with a bit of a panic challenge there.
Tiredness, Tom. That's what it is. You know, that's one of the players that does have that quality as well as Hendrick. And in that position, you think there's no one around them. Get it down, turn. If anything, you just turn them. Allow your players to get out then, or you get a couple of passes in. You know, it's and that's the disappointing thing. He's not done nothing for his team there, other than give the ball back to City. Still in the final third.
By the time you finally get the ball, you're shattered.
Exactly. So in that time, that's when you need your players with quality to say, you know what, put your foot in the ball, slow it down, get a couple of passes in, or turn it, get up, and then you do it from the right areas.
Burnley have had 28% possession in the 58 minutes of play, leaving City with the remaining 72. A lot of running around for Cork and for Hendrick. Fair to say he is fit, Jeff Hendrick, but maybe not as fit as someone like Jack Cork. It will be tough the next 20-30 minutes for him. Wonder whether there will be a change. Actually, Westwood could come on in that position.
The longer it stays at 1-1, Tom, Burnley are very much in it. They've just got to make sure they do not
away sloppily here to Danilo, who's driving forward. That's a poor challenge by Kevin Long, who's already been booked, and that is a second yellow all day long for me that Martin Atkinson is not going to show.
Well, I don't understand how we can give a yellow card for the first and not for the second, and that's a consistency. It should make a difference. It should make a difference.
That's a bad
if he's on a yellow or not. You understand? He should judge it as an individual moment, and that's a yellow card, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, that is a yellow card in every single game of football you're ever going to watch.
Except today.
But not today, because Martin Atkinson's already given a yellow card earlier in the day. Bit of sympathy there for Burnley, which, we shouldn't be showing. The rules are the rules. Burnley have got away with that. But they might still be punished with this free kick. It's dead centre, and about just short of 30 yards out. Perfect for the Premier League's Player of the Year, Kevin De Bruyne, to score a goal which would surely settle things here at Turf Moor. Gundogan is also over it. Aguero was there for a while. Kyle Walker's got the big run up. Surely this will be Kevin De Bruyne. It is De Bruyne, it's hit the wall. It's up in the air. Goes out of play for a corner on the far side. It'll be City's 12th of the match as we approach an hour goal.
Yeah, but it's to be expected. It makes, City in the first half were very much in control. They are again. It's a little bit more in Burnley's final third, but that's because we're Burnley are set up. That's where they're defending. They're not doing it in the middle of the park anymore. Is that down to tiredness? Probably.
Oh, and De Bruyne's corner was cleared away. It broke to Hendrick, and again he's just swung his right boot at the ball. Picked up by Ederson in the right back area here. He's got Walker behind him. Ederson finds Kyle Walker, then runs back in goal. Burnley look to press high. Bernardo Silva now in the left back area. Goes long down the left channel towards Kevin De Bruyne, and Long, who should be sent off, has had the ball out of play.
Well, Ederson has the licence to do that. He comes out as a sweeper. You can tell that he has that quality that he can play out. He can play outfield. That's how good he is. A bit too nonchalant. But that's what you want. Having that behind you, it'll breathe confidence into the defenders in front of him. And like you say, he was very comfortable. Walker was comfortable. Wasn't worried about the keeper when he received the ball off him. So that's what you want. But again, it's Burnley. Look where they are. The back four are basically just outside the 6-yard box. The midfield are on the 18-yard line. Sam Vokes is Ashley Barnes is back. Sam Vokes is on the outlet. So if they do get the ball now, it's in that transition. They've only got one outlet. There's no one near Sam Vokes, so it's down to him to actually make the ball stick. Can he hold it until he gets the support? They weren't doing that first half. So even more so, it's harder. I can guarantee probably the next 5-10 minutes they'll start trying to push up. They'll be taking more gambles and trying to get that, put more pressure on, and go a little bit more direct.
Let's City score a second here. Raheem Sterling dropping the shoulder on Matt Loughton, knee stepping across and clears that ball away for another corner to Man City. Raheem Sterling has looked to be just about in a few times today, but hasn't been able to find that final bit of skill, that final finish. Corner goes back to Bernardo Silva, cross deflected away by Barnes as far as Kyle Walker, centre of the pitch, 40 yards from goal, being forced back by Jeff Hendrick. Leaves it for Danilo, who drives down that left-hand side. All right boot into Gundogan, who does turn, as he was told. Towards the edge of the area, blocked by Loughton. Barnes back helping out. He finds Aaron Lennon. He knocks it down the wing towards Vokes, who's holding up well up against Otamendi. Back to Lennon again. That's better from Burnley. Over the top towards Barnes, who'll nick it off Company. But there's a good challenge from Otamendi to win possession back again for Manchester City. Some very, very heavy legs out there from Burnley players, with still just under half an hour to go.
No, there is working very hard. Sam Vokes holding it up there, a little set for Aaron Lennon. Ashley Barnes, who was in beside Vokes, he breaks his neck to get up, and again it's just taking too many touches. I think it was Jack Cork that was breaking forward, that he could just put it inside to him, but the tired legs can show there, and that's the thing now. They're working very hard. The two strikers, Barnes and Vokes, now basically sitting on the halfway line. Can they try and get up, try make City play out from back. They have the quality to do it, but it gets the defence up. You're pressing in the right areas. Like now, Ederson's got it. This is when you go. This is when Jack Pop's got to be the main man and make sure that they can't get on the ball in the middle of the park. And that's when you do it.
And that's surely a foul by Gundogan on Lennon, who's nicked the ball, and that's a free kick 5 yards away from the corner of the area. And a booking for Gundogan as well. It's good play.
Make these moments count. Put the physical bodies in the box. Put the ball in the box with quality, and ask the question.
Well, it's the first time today that City, playing the ball around in their own area and their own half, have played the ball and played themselves into trouble. It's worked out every other time. Would this be the time when they're punished? Gundogan with a challenge. He did get plenty of the ball, to be fair to him, but the studs were high and got lots of Lennon. It's a free kick on that right-hand side, which Goodmanson will take for Burnley. Vokes, Long at the back post. Barnes and Hendrick just in front of them. It's a slippery surface. The rain continues to fall. Heavier than before here at Turf Moor. It's really going to be tough for Manchester City's defenders if Goodmanson gets this ball right. Goodmanson's delivery is decent. Mee is there. Oh, it's just above Ben Mee. Couldn't turn it home. Maybe he went just a bit too early. So close for Burnley, but it will be a goal kick.
I'm looking at the runs from Mee and Vokes. Very similar. One's got to do one, and one's got to go round the back. You know, and that's just communication. And I think Sam Vokes' job was to go round the back there, but it's just his movement. He's just trying to get away from his defender. That he's actually just made that sharp movement in front of me, and it's just one of them. If he actually stays at the back, he's challenging for the ball there and heading it towards goal. And it's one of them. It's a great ball in. I mean, it's a fantastic ball in from Goodmanson as well.
Fernandinho over the halfway line for City, finds Raheem Sterling left of centre running forward, finds De Bruyne outright to Bernardo Silva. Two players to face. He goes back to Kevin De Bruyne, shifts it left to Bruyne, find Gundogan square into the area. Raheem Sterling back to goal, back heel to Gundogan, blocked by Matt Loughton. He's had a really good game since coming on at half-time for Phil Bardsley.
He's been solid, you know, I think, and it's hard to come into a game like this at half-time as well. You have to either went through his drills, either took on the information as well. Having Raheem Sterling running at you all the time, and it's twisting and turning. He's dealt with it very well. He's made that clearance off his back, off his midriff. That was the Aguero shot. You know, he's done very well in there, and like you say, great little challenge there when Raheem Sterling, a little back cover backfield.
There's Raheem Sterling on the left-hand side, corner of the area. Danilo ahead of him, chops in field, looks for Aguero, just behind him, breaks to De Bruyne, first time right to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva on the right-hand side, cuts back on the left, back on the right, back on the left. Kyle Walker found on the edge. Burnley keeping City at bay. Back to Bernardo Silva. Kyle Walker makes an overlapping run. Bernardo Silva will go back to Kevin De Bruyne. A deep cross towards the back post. Gundogan was there. Barnes and volleys it up over his own head. Instead of bringing the ball down, it's turned forward again by Vincent Kompany. Out left to Danilo. Lennon chasing him down. Square to Gundogan. Gundogan running forward. Looks to release Danilo. 4-1 from him, and Loughton done very well to shield that ball out.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Ashley Barnes is there. He's got the quality. He's been making it stick all day. He's got Hendricks and Aaron Lennon in front of him, facing the play, so they see what's behind them. You can see Hendrick telling them, "Oh, he's got to make that stick. He can't just clear that because he miskicked it." And they're still under pressure because City just pick up the second ball and just keep them in that final third. That's when he's got to make it stick. And that's when Tyler strips in and you think, you know what, I just want to get rid of it. I don't want to get out of the danger area. But you know what, if he actually takes the touch and keeps it down, that's better for the team.
Oh, lovely play by Lennon on that far side. Made it back there for Danilo, who went over it. Turned away from him. Ball back towards Loughton. Cross blocked by Gundogan. And Gundogan will put a block in on that far side. A throw in to Burnley, midway inside the Manchester City half, which Matt Loughton will take. Will they be able to get bodies over on that far side in order to create something? They've not done enough crossing of the ball in the match, Burnley, with those two physical presences up there in Barnes and Vokes, and they'll need to try and work an angle here if they can.
But they don't need to put the crosses in from the final third. They can come in from the middle third as well with the presence that they've got. And this is what I don't understand. Quick throw in back, centre back touch, put it in. It's simple.
Have City stopped them doing that though, or are Burnley not doing it well enough?
I just don't think they're quick enough with the dead ball. They're taking so long, whereas it should be as soon as the ball's in hand, boom, two players to show, one picks it, sets, ball in, and the strikers don't even need to come and show them. They can stay away from it, stay in the box. and then when City get wise to that, then they go to the strikers and then they play that way. You've got to be able to mix it up.
Burnley 0, Manchester City 1 on Premier League Live. Danilo's goal on 22 minutes, and that's a poor forward ball on the right hand side from Kevin Long.
So there, Long, you know, and I played with Long at Burnley, you know, he came through as a young lad. Give the ball to Loughton. Then look at Sam Vokes on the other angle, pulling off the back of the centre back. Play it up, and then that's how you work. That ball is a nothing ball. Aaron Lennon can't do nothing with that. Even if it's two, he can't do nothing with it. It's sloppy play. Is that down to tiredness? I have to say it is.
Tired ball there from Vincent Kompany allows Burnley to steal. They play it forward. It's broken by a Barnes to Goodmanson. Cork's in the area. Ball to Lennon. Oh, great save by Ederson. Cork then finds Vokes. Vokes does get the shot away over his own head, but it's over the crossbar. What a move from Burnley. What a save from Ederson. Still City lead. Burnley so close.
Ashley Barnes always in the goal trying to press. Goodmanson drives, finds Cork. You know what? I'm thinking Cork take a touch, fall down. I'm thinking, is it a little touch on the heels? Aaron Lennon done everything right. Went with power, hit the target. Asked the question, Ederson. What a save! What a save! What a save! That is going into the top left-hand corner, and it's a good, strong hand as well. And it is, you know what? He should not be able, with the power on that, to actually put that onto the post. That should be a hand into the back of the net with the power that Aaron Lennon's put on that there. What a fantastic save that is.
That is a £35 million save from Ederson, and Lennon couldn't have done too much more with it. It was not at the goalkeeper. It was going top corner. It's a brilliant save. It's now City coming forward. Gundogan in the area, forward to Sterling. Again, well read by Loughton, but Sterling will pick up the second ball. Looks for a reverse ball into Bernardo Silva. Can't find him. Back to Sterling. Corner of the area, running away from the goal. He'll find Gundogan. Blocked from going forward, Man City. So they work it into the centre of the field, and Fernandinho. It's right to Kyle Walker. In field to Kevin De Bruyne. 20 minutes remaining. Everyone at Turf Moor on the edge of their seat. It is not over yet, this match at all. Man City have not scored the second goal to kill it. Burnley so close to an equaliser, but City coming forward now. Walker found by De Bruyne. Raheem Sterling, back post, open goal. He's missed it. Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe Raheem Sterling has not turned that ball home. But if I can't believe it, what about Raheem Sterling? He looks stunned.
Yeah, he's threw himself to the floor there. What a way to pass from De Bruyne, you know. And then the ball in from Silva. It's excellent. And you know what? Sterling's got on the wrong side of the Loughton. He's just got to tap it in, hasn't he? And he's just not being good enough.
Chip ball to Goodmanson, left hand side, back to Hendrick, can't control, just
hit the shot
away by Danilo. Up towards Aguero. Mia's surely fouled him. Ref, I think, wants to play on. In fact, he says no foul, and Kevin De Bruyne has picked it up and run it into touch on this near side. What about that miss from Raheem Sterling back post? Ever seen a miss like that, Chris?
It's all about the way to pass, but he just doesn't make enough contact. He goes with his left, which I think he can actually go with his right as well. But it's great movement from Sterling, from Bernardo Silva, and what a way to pass! What a way to pass from De Bruyne to split the.
I mean, it can happen to anyone. Raheem Sterling at the back post, but I mean, the way he's gone down afterwards. What has he got wrong there to miss that?
He's went with his left. I don't understand it. His movement's been excellent. That he's onside, and he can actually just go with his right. Why go with your left there?
Big miss from Raheem Sterling. Game still in the balance. And things have just picked up in intensity in the last 3 or 4 minutes. We're getting towards the business end of this match, and Burnley are in with a sniff of getting something. City have not scored that killer second, and Kyle Walker's given that ball away really sloppily to Taylor, who's running forward. He needs a release ball. He's found Cork. Gundogan is with him. Brilliant play from Jack Cork. Superb under pressure. Turning around and finding Loughton, releasing him right hand side. Burnley getting forward. Loughton crossing from deep. What a great ball that is! Right across the 6-yard box. No one there to turn it home from Burnley, and Kyle Walker's dealt with it really well. Lovely bit of skill, and a release ball to Bernardo Silva too, and he's run straight into Ben Mee, and I think Ben Mee will pick up a yellow card here, though I'm not quite sure how he would have got out Bernardo Silva's way.
Yeah, it's a difficult one for me there, but Kyle Walker in that position, defensively, just to flick it over. I think it was Aaron Lennon there. It's just quality, isn't it? And then the quality of pass as well, to put Bernardo Silva in and give him to feed. But You know, it's the longest is at 1-0. You know, it's just that one ball into the box that's attacked well, that's dealt with properly. It can create that chance. Ederson's been asked a few questions and he's had the answers so far.
And City being a little bit sloppy in possession as well last few minutes as Burnley get forward. A lovely touch out right from Vokes to Cork. Return ball, Fernandinho's got it. Lennon on the half volley. Left footed over the top from Aaron Lennon. Twice now the former Spurs man has gone close. This one, maybe he could have controlled before hitting.
It's not a great ball in from Cork, I have to say, but Aaron Lennon, I love it, the fact that he's reading the game, he's trying to get up to and support it because he must be breathing heavy. He's made good contact with it on his left, albeit, yeah, you know, he'll be disappointed. He's watched it all the way that he's not asked Ederson that question. But to be fair to me, with the likes of Sam Vokes and Ashley Barnes in there, the ball's got to be better from Cork. It was behind him first and foremost when he had a lot of room for error. Put it in between Ederson and the last defender. Let Sam Vokes and Ashley Barnes attack that, which they're very good at doing.
Burnley coming forward again down the right hand side. Challenge on Lennon from Diaz, who has just come on for Raheem Sterling. And Sterling came off against West Brom. He got a kiss from Guardiola after a big miss. I'm not sure he's going to get one today. Down the right hand side, Burnley coming forward, right on the end line, crossed by Loughton, blocked by City, cleared down the line, blocked by Lennon, throw into Mancity in the left back area. Burnley are really on the front foot here at Turf Moor, and City are holding on at the moment. 15 minutes remaining. Burnley 0, Mancity 1 on Premier League Live.
Well, that's it. You know, I think that the closer the longer this game goes on, they'll start to risk more. They'll start to push players forward and try and create the opportunities, the overloads.
A lovely turn by Hendrick, right hand side, cross deflected, but it breaks to Goodmanson. There's a ball on to Vokes, corner of the area. Vokes looks for Barnes, blocked by Otamendi. Vokes will then look to win it back off Fernandinho. Oh, he's pushed him over. Why has he pushed him over?
I don't think there's a lot in it, Tom. I don't think there's a lot in it. I think it's a genuine attempt for the ball. I think Fernandinho's just got his body in front. Sam Vokes has tried to go round the other side. I think he's already going to floor, and it's one of them because it's a contact sport. You're both going for the ball. I mean, it's just clever play from Fernandinho trying to con the ref, but he was already going to floor because Sam Vokes actually went and tried to go round the other side of him and get the ball.
Should briefly mention what a show of faith it is for Brahim Diaz, the 18-year-old midfielder who was on the receiving end of a couple of meaty challenges against West Bromwich Albion in midweek, to come on in such a crucial moment of this game for Manchester City.
No, of course it is. You know, I think that he has belief in all his players. You know, and it's, you know, there's no point in putting these players on the bench if you're not going to ask that question of them and be willing to throw them in. So no, fair play.
Has given the young players a real chance at City. Pep Guardiola, Zinchenko on the bench, and now there is Otamendi's terrible control in the left back area. Has knocked the ball straight out of play for a corner to Burnley on the attacking right hand side.
Well, that's it. You know, it's all about set pieces, quality delivery, bodies attacking it. You have to make it count.
And you can hear Turf Moor willing this delivery to be good towards me, towards Vokes at the back post. Then he maybe should have scored one in the first half. It's going to be Goodmanson with the delivery. It's deep, it's good, it's towards me, it's won by Long just before me could get there. But Kevin Long will head the ball over the top from close range.
Yeah, look, it's one of them. Before Goodmanson even puts the ball in, all the players have made their move. You know, it's like that. Basically, he's made his move and then he's backstepping to make contact with the ball. I just think they have to slow that movement down. When he makes contact with the ball and puts it in, that's when they have that little burst.
Burnley has scored just 8 goals at Turf Moor this season, the lowest amount of any side in the Premier League. They are threatening here. Big diagonal ball out right to Lennon. Loughton on the overlap, here he is now, cuts it back to Barnes in the area, wants someone to pass to. Crowded out by 3 City players, but Burnley keep it alive. Taylor on the left hand side, great delivery, it's over Barnes, it breaks to Hendrick, it just bounces over his head, but he is able to keep it under control. Diaz is with him. Hendrick then looks for a ball in field which wasn't on. Again, tired stuff from Jeff Hendrick, and City will look to break with Kevin De Bruyne. It's forward to Aguero. Diaz on the overlap. Here he is now. Brahim Diaz in the area, the teenager. Held up well on that far side by Kevin Long. Diaz has kept possession for City. Finds Bernardo Silva. Burnley do well to stop the break. City stay in possession. It's back now now with Nicholas Otamendi. Listen to the applause from Turf Moor for the work rate. A lot of applause from their manager on the far side as well, Sean Dyche, who's been on the edge of his technical area in suit and club coat all game long, barking orders, barking at the fourth official. They must have earache every single time they come to Turf Moor, listening to Sean Dyche all game long. City still have possession though, they've done well. When the attack came to nothing, like we were saying earlier about Burnley, when the attack comes to nothing, they show the composure, they keep the ball, and that was an 18-year-old doing that.
Well, that's it. You know, I think he's faced up his man, he's tried to get round him, it wasn't on, so what you do, you keep the ball. So it is, when you've got the ball at your feet, the game's easy. You know, when you don't have it, as you can see from the Burnley players now, they've got very tired legs, they'll be mentally drained. But you know what? They'll have a belief now. We're still in the match. That's what Sean Dyche would have said to them at half-time. You're 1-0 down. You know, one set piece, one quality ball. You know, that's the difference. And at the minute, they've asked a few questions, so they've got to weather this storm again. They will get another chance. They just have to be clinical with it. 11
minutes remaining. Danilo on the halfway line, down the line towards Diaz. He has kept it in. The Spaniard, he's running now at Loughton in the area, drops the shoulder towards the end line, starts to stumble, stays on his feet, and runs out of green grass. There's maybe a little hint there of a trip.
Does he have to fall for it to be a penalty? This is my question. This is why.
Well, I need to see whether he's actually tripped or whether he's just stumbled over. We've got to read. If he's just stumbled over, I mean, you can see why he hasn't gone down. If he feels like he's tripped, I think he probably would have done. It's an interesting.
He's a young player. And you know what? He's an honest player. Even if there is a little nit, it's down to the referees to get it right. You know, and this is why we were talking about players falling to ground, because how many times have you probably said it yourself? Oh, he was very honest there, staying on his feet. But it's still a penalty kick. So.
But was that a trip? Was it a stumble? We can't quite tell from our angle. No replay as yet. But Martin Atkinson was very, very close to the action. We've got to give him that. 10 minutes remaining. City still leading. 4 with Kyle Walker. City haven't really made any attempts to shut up shop. They haven't brought another midfielder. They haven't sat deeper.
I think you said it yourself. It's what is it? I think Burnley have had 28% possession. You know, and that says all that City are completely dominating this, albeit a few little errors, and they've been under the cosh from set pieces or crosses. But they are the threat. They are the one that is dominating this game with the ball. So I don't really see. I think if you make that change, I think that negative mindset comes in, and the players go back and they start to protect it, and then Burnley can then come into it and just throw another defender up there and start going. So I understand why that change hasn't been made.
They do have defensive options on the bench should they want to choose them. Adara Bayoyo and their record signing Aymeric Laporte, obvious choices. And Alexander Zinchenko, also a defender, full-back, as Vokes heads on here to Barnes. Back to Vokes, good play by the two Burnley strikers. It's out to Lennon, right-hand side. Loughton overlapping, here he is now. Cross-block by Danilo. Will it break back to Loughton? Yes, it will. Otamendi steps across, gets a challenge in. Ball loops in the air. Cork heads forward. Fernandinho's jumped surely into Barnes' back. And the referee says no. Well, he's jumped straight into him.
Yeah, it's a free kick. I don't know what he's seen there. There's no other way that you can look at it. Blatant free kick, and it's one that Burnley would have welcomed as well.
Burnley keep possession on the left-hand side. Goodmanson found by me. Overlapping run now made by Taylor. That's a good ball. Deep again. It's over. Barnes and Vokes. Cork will keep it in right-hand side.
Punch it in. Put it in.
Loughton from deep. There is a deep cross towards the back post. Goodmanson! Goal for Burnley! Brilliant play from the Clarets! Just their 9th goal at Turf Moor all season, and they have pegged back the league leaders. Goodmanson with the hard volley. Ederson couldn't save it. Burnley won, City won.
Well, you said, Tom, didn't you? You said that the crosses can come in from any area. It was from the middle third. Fantastic ball in. Goodmanson there, great run. You know what? And he's watched it all the way. It's a half volley, isn't it? He's took it as the ball's hit the ground. He's took it. He's on time looking at the monitor, and he's just steered it. Ederson, that strong hand never worked from this time. It was good contact and just guided it in. Fantastic, probably came off the shin of Goodmanson there, but fantastic finish and great ball in. Ask the question and he never had answers it.
Brilliant goal from Goodmanson, so often the creator of all the good play for Burnley this season. Today the scorer, just his 2nd Premier League goal of the campaign. What a brilliant finish at the far post. They have been applying the pressure, they have been turning the screw, and they have been rewarded at Turf Moor. And what about Raheem Sterling, who went off a few minutes ago, missing that open goal to wrap things up? Brilliant game of football on Premier League Live. 7 minutes remaining of normal time. It's Burnley 1, Manchester City 1.
It's going to be the longest 12 minutes of football for Burnley now. They've just got to make sure they sit in, carry on doing what they're doing, defend them for their lives. But what does Sean Dyche do now? He'll be happy with a point. Does he then try and shore it up? But City have the quality that they can just play through no matter what you set up in front of them. He's got tired legs, tired minds as well.
Here comes City, left-hand side. Gundogan has found Brahim Diaz. Back to Gundogan again. Short to Danilo. Diaz with a touch back to Gundogan. Manchester City, well, of course, still staying miles ahead of the chasing pack in the Premier League. But it would be 3 away games in a row where they've failed to win. As Bernardo Silva travels down that right-hand side, leaves it for Kyle Walker, back to Bernardo Silva again, bit of space for Bernardo Silva to drift across and shoot, looks for a curler, never really on target for Bernardo Silva, didn't really have enough curl either, and that's going to be a goal kick for Burnley.
And they've not done that, have they, all match, and it just shows the frustration sets in. He's got bodies in front rather than do the little intricate play that they've done time and time again today. They're trying to force the issue now, which will play into Burnley's favour. It allows them to get the ball. Can Burnley now go direct from this goal kick? 1 second balls, try and keep the ball in the defensive third of Man City, and like you say, ask that question, just put the ball in the box. They've got the bodies in there.
City haven't dropped points in 3 consecutive away games since May 2016 under Manuel Pellegrino, with the first time it's happened under Guardiola. But plenty of football still to be played. There's a handball from Barnes trying to stop Aguero coming forward. It bounced up to him and he instinctively palmed the ball away. Free kick taken short by City. They're about 20 yards inside the Burnley half, just left of centre. Work back to Otamendi. Across the centre circle to Kyle Walker to this right-hand side. Bernardo Silva up against Taylor on this touchline, comes in field. Bernardo Silva cross field, finds Brahim Diaz in space. Back on the right boot from Diaz. Now running at Lennon. Lennon's done well to get his body in the way, and it's just thrashed clear by Loughton, but no one's forward now for Burnley.
It's just basically now seeing this out, try and kill the game off. Happy with the point, and rightfully so. Look at the Burnley players now. Every single player within the width of the 18-yard box, probably, and yeah, you're probably looking at the final third, maybe a little bit more to the middle third. That's it now. Shut up shop, kill the game off, just turn them.
Well, Sean Dyche and Burnley have got everything right for me today tactically, and they've earned the point they are currently getting. But 4 minutes of normal time against Man City is a long, long time to last. But it's Burnley coming forward here. Vokes has got forward. He's controlled it on the halfway. He's held it up and drawn the foul from Kyle Walker as well.
It's perfect from Vokes. He knows great awareness. He knows he can take it down in the chest. It is a foul from Kyle Walker. But this is what I'm asking you now. Gives a chance for the centre backs to go up, put the ball in the angle, ask the question. You know what? Imagine they go and nick this.
And even though they've had lots of the ball, Man City,
look how high.
I'm not sure I would say nicked it.
Look how high the Manchester defensive line is, because they know.
Vokes and Barnes back post, highest from Taylor towards Barnes. Won well by Fernandinho, only as far as Hendrick, who's found a ball right to Loughton, into Lennon. Looks for the return ball down the line. Just
more pace.
Not in the path here. Just a little bit soft as well from Lennon. Is cleared high by City, uncharacteristic from then. Turn forward again by Burnley. Flick round the corner from De Bruyne and Gundogan. 1, 2, 3, 4 passes between the two before Brahim Diaz takes over, and Aaron Lennon getting stuck in on Diaz. What a strong challenge, and you've got to say what a game he's had as well, Lennon.
Yeah, he's been
brilliant
excellent.
Second half.
He's got stronger, hasn't he? He's got stronger. You're thinking he's not played a lot of football, and he's just grew into the matches, and a couple of chances, and he'll take so much confidence from that because he's done everything right, and that challenge speaks for itself. He went in really, really hard but fair, and like you say, yeah, it's still game on. It's like one of them. They won't take unnecessary risks, but if the opportunity presents itself, they'll put the ball in the box.
Ball with Vincent Kompany, edge of the penalty area, right to Walker, back to Kompany again. He'll leave it to Otamendi. 2.5 minutes remaining of normal time. Kompany on the halfway. Burnley are deep. Kompany allowed to carry. Outright to Bernardo Silva, up against Charlie Taylor gets around a bit too easy there, Bernardo Silva, but Taylor's forced him back by the corner flag. Here's Walker. Infield, trying to find Aguero, pokes it round the corner. Taylor will win it. Walker will chase him down. Taylor will clear it down the touchline, but it's straight to Kevin De Bruyne. It's into Aguero. First time back to Bernardo Silva. Goodmanson, the Burnley goal scorer, forcing Bernardo Silva cross field. Fernandinho will then leave it to Danilo, who scored that opening goal in the first half. Left to Brahim Diaz, back to Danilo again. Right-footed cross deflected. Where will it go? It's bouncing in the area. And Burnley, well, they've just prevented the corner as well. Goodmanson, it came off, I think, Bentley last. Goodmanson sliding on this slip grass and just getting there before the ball goes out of play. Throw in taken by Bernardo Silva. Some shouts. A foul throw there. Not given. Ball down the right touchline to Kyle Walker. Cross blocked by Charlie Taylor, who then went to ground. Looks almost out on his feet and was off his feet for a few seconds.
It's great defending. That's all he can do. Stop the cross from coming in. They work it very well. If it was a corner or throw in, Man City, they've always got options there. But that's all Burnley can do now. Just see it out. Well, probably I'm thinking probably 3 minutes here, 3-4 minutes again. I never thought it was 4 minutes in the first half, but Mark Atkinson found it from somewhere. They've got to see it out. They look organised. They still look like that goals gave them a little bit of that 10%. You know, they're pressing well, they're organised. You see they're communicating all the time. But City are good. No matter how organised you are, City will create another chance. They've just got to make sure that they're there to defend it, or Pope's there to do what he does.
Nicolas Otamendi on the floor to Sergio Aguero, who's come out the penalty area. Looks for Brahim Diaz. It's Aaron Lennon back defending, and then he clears it. It hits the teenager of Man City, and it's out of play for a goal kick to Burnley as we approach 90 minutes.
Again, Aaron Lennon defending, sees the trouble, sees it, and get a little bit lucky with the clearance, setting it off from there, but it's just his awareness. He sees Aguero with the ball, he sees Aguero's got time, get his head up, and he goes to where the danger is and cuts out the pass.
Would be another game without a win for Burnley, but a vital point for them. Would move them to 36 points, which is around about where I think the line of safety will be this year for teams in the Premier League, 36-37. Burnley aren't going to get drawn into it, but to be over that line almost in February is a hell of an achievement, whatever the last couple of months have been like.
That's what I'm talking about, Tom. Throw in the final third quicker. All they need is now is Jack Cock to present himself, get it back to Loughton, ball goes in the box, and they allow City to get themselves ready and prepared for it.
So throwing on that right hand side, a few yards away from the edge of the area, maybe 25 yards away from the corner flag, which Matt Loughton will take. He's made a massive difference since coming on at half time. Throw in into Barnes, who tries to turn away from Diaz, a good one, and does. Edges towards the corner flag now. Diaz is with him, still on the field of play, and the
Burnley
assistant referee has given that to City.
I'm looking at that. It's a Burnley throw all day for me.
And it will be taken by Danilo by the corner flag. 3 minutes added on at the end of the 90. Danilo will eventually throw it in. He gained a couple of yards there. Home fans weren't happy. Headed forward again by Loughton, but strong header from him goes out of play for a goal kick. And maybe this is evident that City are so comfortable in the league because they don't need to win this game. Now, I wonder if they needed to win it like they did in games 3 months ago, whether they might have gone for it a bit more.
Yeah, I do understand. I think they've got a lot of room for error. They can drop a couple of points, but they're winners, and I think they've had more than enough chances today to put this game out of sight. Raheem Sterling, probably the biggest culprit there. But you know what? That's part and parcel of football. You know, if you don't put your chances away, you're leaving the door open to get punished. And Burnley have shown that one little bit of quality, and I know there's still minutes to go.
They're down the left-hand side, round the back of Otamendi is Hendrick. Has he got the energy to get it? He has. End line left-hand side. What's he going to do? Is there a cross on for him? Otamendi has held him up, but I think Jeff Hendrick was just trying to catch his breath. It's back to Goodmanson. Burnley still in possession. Cork has a ball out right to Loughton, just over the halfway line. He'll then fire it high towards Barnes, who, well, he's gone up with Otamendi. Otamendi's jumped to the ground. He's hit with the elbow.
It's a naughty one as well. It is an arm.
It's going to be a yellow card for Barnes.
You know, it's a silly one. You know, he doesn't need to do it. You know, he sees the ball, he's watching it all the way, and he actually just focuses on Otamendi rather than just going and keeping the ball alive or flicking it to Vokes or over the top.
Diaz, left-hand side. Will there be a final flourish for Manchester City? Kevin De Bruyne running at Lennon, chopping in field, then back outside, then digging out across. It's on target, but it's actually well held by Nick Pope, and he falls to the ground as well. And that may well be the final act of this game, and Burnley would have got a well-deserved point from the champions-elect in Manchester City.
Yeah, we've been excellent. You said that the tactics, the organisation has been spot on, and just that little bit of, they weathered that little bit of luck, but a little bit of quality as well, got them a deserved point.
And there is that final whistle. It has finished between Burnley and Manchester City. 1-1 here. Tremendous game of football. Chris Owellamo alongside me. A brilliant performance by so many players out there. What did Burnley do differently in that second half in order to stop Manchester City? What did they change?
Well, I would have said that they weren't as good in the second half. I think they were more defensive. They were defending at the edge of their area rather than in the middle third, which they did most of the first half, I've got to say. So that allowed City to come on to them. And what I will say is, again, they weren't really direct in the first half. They weren't putting lots of crosses in the box. They never really done that second half, but when they did, they caused problems. Got a little bit lucky that the ball, it was a fantastic ball in from the middle third. Kyle Walker switched off. Goodmanson got in behind them. It was a fantastic finish. It was coming. We felt it was coming. The longer the game went on 1-0, we felt that Burnley could get something out of it. You could see the players knew it was coming as well. There was times that City had to weather the storm a little bit, but City should have been out of sight. Not clinical enough. Trying to overplay in front of goal. Never tested Pope enough in the Burnley goal. Had fantastic opportunities to shoot Aguero. Trying to cut it back for Sterling. Shouldn't have happened. Sterling, empty goal. Goes with his left foot rather than his right, when it was great movement. De Bruyne, again, guilty. He was excellent again today, but not at his usual levels. So there is, but like you say, they can drop points and still comfortably win this league. So we had that discussion before the match. Have they took the foot off the pedal? I don't think so. I just think Burnley were well organised today and got a deserved point.
And let's go back to that Raheem Sterling miss. It maybe was the most vital moment of that second half, apart from the goal from Goodmanson, of course. And if he scores there, it's an easy victory for City. It's game over. He's missed one against West Bromwich Albion as well. We've praised him for his finishes and form this season, but that was the old Raheem Sterling, and maybe he, like some other players, as Guardiola said pre-game, needs a bit of time out the firing line.
Yeah, I can understand that. I think I've got to say he does bring so much. His link-up play, his movement is excellent. He'll be disappointed. You can see that he's disappointed with the way he threw himself to the ground there. He should be putting that in the back of the net with the form that he's on and the qualities that he's shown this season. But it wasn't to be, and they dropped 2 points that should have been sealed up.
Chris Owellamo, thank you very much indeed for your company today. What a great game we have watched at Turf Moor. It's finished 1-1 between Burnley and Manchester City. Danilo on 22 minutes, Goodmanson equalising on 82 for the Clarets, giving them a well-earned and well-deserved share of the spoils. Stay with us on Premier League Live. Our feature game of the UK time, 3 o'clock, comes from Old Trafford, where Manchester United face Huddersfield Town, looking to recover after a dreadful performance and result against Spurs in midweek. The headline team news is that Alexis Sanchez makes his Old Trafford bow for the Red Devils. Full time here, 1-1 between Burnley and City. You are listening to Premier League Live.
Premier League football.